Right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful morning or midday. It has been another one of these slower days, but you're actually coming into the lows right now. You just had a bond auction. There wasn't much news. You were still dealing with the Iran situation. Trump made comments. He was at the board of peace. They said 10 days, talked about diplomacy. Oil's still going to go up. You're going to play that game back and forth. I'm sure a lot of people are going to hype it up over the weekend. We've been talking a lot about seasonality in the VIX. This is essentially your last good day of February. And then you start to get a little bit more headwinds, but we are still playing that software game. The way I've been describing it today is that you have stabilized to a certain degree without getting past the event risk. You know, we don't really know why it's stabilized. It's not like things have gotten better or worse, but you're still fragile. You're still in the box here of the market. The last couple of days, I mean, you're getting to that Thursday low where you were dealing with last Tuesday or this Tuesday, and you're not really exiting out of that. And then today, the big part is the staples. The staples are going down. Really, you're just being led by the Mag 7 today. There's been a lot of 40, 50 names up, 50 names down, and every time, you know, you're just going ping-ponging back and forth between either big tech, everybody else, or the staples and the rotation stocks. So things are moving around. It's trading a little different than the last couple of days. It's definitely a lot slower. And now we are got to take it into tomorrow. You get way more data. You got a little bit of data today with durable goods, housing. A lot of people are talking about the slowing demand. And then, like I'm saying, tomorrow you get like PCE, retail sales, the consumer sentiment, all of that good stuff. So we have an exciting day ahead, and it's all front running NVIDIA earnings too. That's next week. So get ready for all of it. I hope you're having a good day. We have a very special Philo in store for today. So I hope you guys are looking to get exposed to something. Is oil tweaking? We got a little oil tweak right now. Uh-oh, hot dog. Oh, it's coming down again. Trump, really bad things will happen if no Iran deal. That's what he just, I don't know where he's at right now. But yeah, that Trump comment's coming out right now. Really bad things will happen if no Iran deal. Iran. I don't know if that's Truth Social or if he's live, but yeah. Trump delivers remarks on economy in Georgia. That's going to be at 1 p.m. Microsoft. There was something too about Europe and OpenAI, and then Microsoft competition from Anthropic Claude launching its own PowerPoint. Oh. So yeah, man, we'll begin here in a little bit. Yeah, watch oil. I'm surprised it went down on that comment, all things considered. Maybe because he's trying to force the deal instead of the conflict. That's kind of how people have been reacting to that lately. So yeah, man, let's see where this leads us. Let's see where this leads us. I'm going to go get this set up for you. And then we will begin. Dude, the S&P has been in a range of 2.7% for like 6 months, actually. I think 4 months on that, but long story short, you've only stayed in this tight of a range like 4 or 5 times since 1966. So yeah, this little box we're in on the broad, you know, last couple days you've been in a box, but that little make or break moment we've been talking about from end of last year till now, oh, it very much remains. So yeah, let's get this set up, baby. Let's get this set up. Ooh. Where is it? Jesus. Praise God. Amen, amen. It's a call, baby. Hey. Yeah. If we talking plays, yeah, I'm in there like swimwear. I've been there. I've done this shit for 10 years. You could have it all, but you been scared. Big scare. Funny part, there wasn't even risk there. My thoughts been my own, yeah, I've been clear. No fear. Oh dear, who you trying to control here? My God is the weapon, I ain't boasting. Nah. It's done. Daddy said it's finished. Made me in his image, but that always made me timid. Wonder why we different, don't you ever get it twisted. It's the only way we get it, set apart from the start. And the heart isn't ours, it's a hippie with the love, but it's David with the sword. I want peace, so that means you gon' kill me if it's war. Nietzsche, Trotsky, can't beach on the arc. Want it easy or hard, want a genie or a god, then believe me, lil' bro, you a child, you a son of the highest in the bud. Don't deny it, we don't like it when they tell us who we are. I can tell you who I was, I can tell you who he is. I can make another song that's telling y'all about the crib, but for a second, keep it real. It's not the reason they will kill, it's the freedom in believing they want death to bring the will. But I'd rather have it now, and I ain't never backing down. Lion gonna eat me or turn his ass around. Either way, I will remain up in his name and say a prayer. Here, let's say it now, Jesus. I put Jesus on the beat so I can listen to it. I got reason to believe that we living in it. You could say it's one hell of a decision in it. Ay, if we talking plays, yeah, I'm in there. Like swimwear, I've been there. I've done this shit for 10 years. You could have it all, but you been scared, big scare. Funny part, there wasn't even risk there. My thoughts been my own, yeah, I've been clear. No fear, oh dear, who you try to control here? My God is the weapon, I ain't boasted. Amen. And then before we begin, I haven't got to play it for you today. They might find me, but this Philo is brought to you by Long Term Monthly. Okay, you're gonna need a laugh here before we begin. Oh yeah. Put your moderate to severe volatility in check with long-term once monthly savings and high-quality ownership. Before I started using long-term monthly, I was an absolute degenerate who couldn't sleep because they said don't hold overnight. Oh, I could sleep. My husband said he was investing for our future, but he was just gambling at 8 in the morning. But now, thanks to long-term monthly, we're about to buy our second home. Before taking long-term monthly, I used to get really bothered by the politics on the television and YouTube. Now, I don't care who's president. I know I'm still going to make a profit and have a financial future. Long-term can lower your ability to blow up your account. Before treatment, watch trading fraternity and stock market live videos. Serious faith, hope, and love might occur. For patients above 20, discipline and goals are a common side effect. Nausea, upset stomach, and diarrhea may occur if you are trading in your long-term account. Consult your broker and ask them why they are charging you above the Fed's funds rate to hold your money. Long-term monthly is not a one-time treatment and will have to be kept up for several years. Long-term monthly. Pay yourself first. Amen. Amen. Oh, Chatadonia. Chatadonia. Are you ready for today's Philo, man? I got a good one for you. I got a really good one, man. I'm excited, and I hope it alters the way that you think. You know that? I hope it for the better. I hope it helps you take full control of your mind. Maybe give it a little bit more of an emphasis. So, before I get into any of the deep stuff, before I start talking about your brain, I'm gonna start it off with something a little lighter, but at the same time, I don't know how some of you are gonna take this. Here, maybe this will be a good opening line. Are you ready? You are Jesus. The people went crazy as they disagreed. The other half said it was blasphemous. Oh yes, you are Jesus. Okay, but hear me out. Let me explain it to you. You don't think it's weird that all of us vibe with the character Jesus? You guys wonder why? You know why Uncle yelling out Jesus all the time? You ever wonder why I like him so much? You know, you guys may not like the rest of the Bible, but a lot of people share the sentiments of Jesus, almost universally. It's kind of a trip if you think about it. So think about it. Most of the stuff that Jesus didn't like, I would argue you didn't like it either. Some of the things that you like, most things that humans like, I would argue you like it as well too. You don't realize that most humans hate what Jesus hates. They love what Jesus loves. It's a really weird concept if you think about it. Like I'm saying, you may not like the rest of the Bible, the New Testament, or anything in there, but why do we share so many qualities with Jesus? Have you ever thought about this? You want me to give you an example? Okay, how many of you don't like preachers? How many of you don't like the whole, all these people acting holier than thou? You don't like that? Would you say humans get turned off by that? Yeah, well, guess what? That's what Jesus didn't like. That's the whole Pharisee thing. He called them serpents. He called them vipers. Do you like it when people sell things where they shouldn't? You know, going into churches selling things. So people die and they make up a marketplace around it. You know, and I think about it. Inappropriate commerce. Wouldn't you say that something, no matter what type of human you are, where you are, that's something we kind of have a disdain for? That's what Jesus didn't like. How about this? Do you think that we should share with the needy? That taking care of orphans and widows and people who need help, do you like that? Do you think that's a good thing? Wouldn't you say most humans would nod in agreement and say, yeah, that is a good thing. We should strive for that. Oh, that's what Jesus liked. How about this? You like partying at weddings? This was a funny one, but don't forget, Jesus' first miracle was at a wedding, turning water into wine. You like celebrating? Jesus was down. Come on. Do you think most people, regardless of your beliefs, do we have a view towards children as positive? Where we like you like kids. You want to protect children. Wouldn't you agree anybody who messes with children deserves a millstone? Oh, come on, man. That's the sentiments of Jesus Christ himself as well. Wouldn't you say mercy is a good quality? Do you like people who are merciful? Do you like somebody who is prideful, or do you like somebody who's humble? Which ones are humans more turned off and turned on to? Again, this is the same thing that Jesus liked and didn't like. Wouldn't you say you like sincere love? Don't you say nobody likes fake love? You know, Jesus hated fake love. He called a lot of people out on it. He wasn't down with that. He said, but if you're sincere about your desires, wouldn't you say us as humans? How much more appreciation do you have for somebody who is sincere with you versus somebody who is fake with you? I don't care what you believe in. Like I'm saying, you share this quality with Jesus. Man, don't you hate the system? You don't think it's weird that you were born into a world, born into a system, whether you've tolerated it or not? You don't think you don't get bothered by it? I think a lot of people don't like it. That's a shared thing. Some people have been on the better side. Some people have been on the worse side, but we have all been born into a system that we did not create. And that at some point has some level of oppression, wrongdoing, is corrupt, all these things. Jesus felt the exact same way. When he said this world, this wicked world, the way that it operates, Jesus had the same exact feeling. You don't think you share that? Man, don't you hate divided loyalty? Wouldn't you say that's something we as humans don't like? You don't like no 50-50 person going back and forth. 1 minute they this, 1 minute they that. Oh, come on. These are all qualities of Jesus. You don't think it's weird you liked what he liked? You hated what he hated? You loved what he loved? Like I'm saying, you may not agree with the rest of the book. You may not agree with the rest of the New Testament, the other commandments from the Pauls and the other disciples and everything about the word. You may not be down with that. But you do share the similar human qualities. What you felt and what you feel about this world is very parallel to what Jesus felt. I think that's pretty crazy. So, SPY's going lower. Well, I need to check the tech stocks real quick. I'm gonna get up NVIDIA and then the XLP, because this time XLP is going down. So hold on. But yeah, that's the first part of Philo. Okay. Oh, I forgot to play you the other. I was just excited. I had something I wanted to play. Everything's going down now. You got tech and staples. The queues are going up. This one's a little different than earlier. Hot dog. Anthropic puts 20 million in a super PAC who favor more extensive AI regulations. Oh, that's different than Mr. Zuck. So yeah, well, this is even moving though. I did want to play you guys a clip, and then I'll get into the next part of Philo. So yeah, I've never heard this guy. I heard this guy the other day, and I really like this, and I think it was good. So bear with me. This is an old interview from like the 60s, I think. But man, was it beautiful. Man, so take a listen.
Krishnamurti, way back in 1929, that's 40-odd years ago now, you dissolved the Order of the Star of the East, and I'd like to read the words, some of the words that you said at that time. You said, "I maintain that truth is a pathless land, and you cannot approach it by any path whatsoever, by any religion, by any sect. I do not want followers," you said. I mean this. "If there are only 5 people who will listen, who will live, who have their faces turned towards eternity, it will be sufficient. Of what use is it to have thousands who do not understand, who are fully embalmed in prejudice, who do not want the new, but would rather translate the new to suit their own sterile, stagnant selves? You said, I desire those who seek to understand me to be free, not to follow me, not to make out of me a cage which will become a religion, a sect, but rather they should be free from all fears, from the fear of religion, from the fear of salvation, from the fear of spirituality, from the fear of love, from the fear of death, from the fear of life itself. Well, 41 years later, how would you summarize your aims?
I think that's true. I mean, human beings, whether they live in India or America or in the West, are really unhappy beings. They're frustrated. They feel life has very little meaning. The more intellectual you are, the more if you say, what, it has no meaning at all. And therefore they begin to invent meanings. Whereas if you really understood the oneself which is so conditioned, oneself which is so small, petty, bourgeois, then out of that understanding flowers goodness.
So you're not setting yourself up as a great teacher?
No. So, on the contrary, I say, be your own teacher. Be your own light. Don't look to somebody else.
And where do you find truth?
Only when a mind is completely... A life, not only a mind, a life that's completely harmonious, not contradictory. It's only such a mind which is religious that can find truth, can observe truth. Truth isn't something abstract, it's there when you go.
Krishnamurti, way back in 1929.
I liked it. I don't know how all of y'all felt towards it, but it should sound somewhat familiar. That's the first time I've ever heard it. I think Krishnamurti, he's back in the day apparently, but yeah, I didn't hear him till recently. But yeah, I mean, some of this stuff I've shared with you before. Have no fear of anything. It's for your mind, dog. Again, what he was saying there, bro, yourself. You must be your own light. And just in simple, man, just harmonious, not contradictory. You know, we've talked about that. I said, man, you align. That is the alignment. So I share a lot of the same opinions, and I like that a lot. And that's the thing, bro. I don't know. Do you want new? Do you want to use your mind? Actually, I think that's a very serious question, and I hope you could get to it with alignment. Because there is a real big difference between seeking things out, even if it's new, even if it's truth. But then, are you going to use it to just suit yourself in the same stagnation or not? That's a big one, bro. That's a big one. New should change you. It should propel you. Your mind should propel you. It's very easy. I mean, you see the world we live in today, bro. You see the back and forth. I mean, again, we have more information than ever. I don't think we've used it to advance. You could learn things. You could get exposed to all sorts of stuff. It doesn't mean... it's very tempting to use it to just suit yourself in the same comfortability, same lifestyle, same everything. So, yeah, bro. Fire. Another log on the fire. So now, you want to know what I want to tell you about? I want to tell you about your brain. Are you ready, Chad? This one's going to trip you out a little bit. And you know, it does, unfortunately, for some, but like I said, to start it off, I hope you realize, I mean, you're not too different than Jesus than you thought, my friend. All right? Very simple. Your brain is powerful. How many times have I told you in the last year? Again, bro, nuclear, AI, all these other things going on, right? You see that they're building data centers. You guys know about the RAM shortage, right? You guys know about the memory shortage. Does this all sound familiar? People looking to build out hardware and energy to power all these things for the future. How many times have I told you that your brain is hardware? I said, y'all looking for the next best technology. You are looking for the next big technology, bro. Your brain. That is the most powerful piece of equipment on this planet right now, hands down. You know why? They can't build it. Take a look, bro. Again, the facts of the brain, bro, how it operates, the current, the electrical, everything. It's all in your brain. How it operates, bro, it's actually unreal. The cells, millions, trillions, all these different things. You have the craziest piece of hardware in your head right now, right in between your ears. The problem is that most people do not care to use it, let alone have we made a desire to learn how to use it, or even know how to use it. That's why I've been sharing a lot of stuff with you. I'm saying there's a lot of things in the brain. There's a reason why that man Jesus keeps coming up. There's a lot of brain stuff in the Bible, whether you realize it or not. But your brain is a piece of hardware. Now, don't get too crazy with me. I think your brain is a computer, but it's not a computer. I think it's something way more special than that. I think it's God's computer, to be honest with you. So let me ask you guys a question. Are you ready for this? Have you ever heard of a place called Galilee? Does that sound familiar? Galilee. Have any of you ever heard of Galilee? It's a real place, but it also, you say Galilee, it might spark something in people. Do you know why? That's where everything went down. The Sea of Galilee. That's where Jesus did a lot of his ministry. That's where Jesus called his first disciples. That's where he was doing the miracles. You know that, walking on water. He was walking on the Sea of Galilee. Feeding the 5,000 with 2 fish. Galilee. When he would tell you the parables, all of that, it took place in Galilee. That's the story of Jesus, right? All right, you guys want to have some fun? Go look up what the word Galilee means. Tell me what you get. Have you ever thought about what the word Galilee means? So even to this day, Galilee means something. Go look it up. Tell me what it means. I'll give you a second. Let's see which one. You got 3 definitions to choose from, but they all kind of say the same thing. Galilee. The Sea of Galilee. The place called Galilee. So I'll give you the definition we're going to talk about. No, it's not the entrance. It's a circuit. Circle. So go look up Galilee and circuit. Tell me what you get. But guess what? The entrance to a chapel is going to come up as well too. The gate, you could call it. But circuit. Circle. Why is that important? What else operates with circuits? What else operates with circuits and gates? Do any of you know? Do you want me to tell you? You're all using it right now. Not your brain. Well, your brain operates like that too. A thing called a computer. Did you know that? Electricity, circuits, anything electrical has a circuit. Do you know how computers operate? There's something called a gate, a logic gate. You have all these gates that go back and forth. This is literally how we got the computer. I told you about the brain. You have 12 parts of your brain. This is all science. You could argue you have 12 logical gates in your brain. It's all about switching them on and getting access to it. A computer is filled with gates. So circuits and gates, circuits and doors. Again, Galilee. So this is the part, again, it sounds a little crazy, but it's kind of funny because all of this is right in front of you. You know why? Literally, for crying out loud, the guy who started computers practically. The rise of the computer wave. What was his name? You may not like him nowadays, but I think it's in his name. It's kind of obvious where some of this stuff is. Galilee, circuit, doorway. Logic gates are how computers are built. The guy's name is Bill Gates. My brother, your brain is filled with gates. Gates. You know, it's crazy. There's a lot of these too. You know that? I don't even want to tell you this one. There's a lot in the names, and it's going to relate to something because I will make this point so I could get to the other point. It's going to take us right back to the circuit. But do you guys know who was at the heart of gambling in the 80s and 90s? One of the biggest rise of gambling. 80s and 90s. There was somebody, it's in their name. You all know him. I guarantee you every single person knows who this person is. Atlantic City. They literally built Atlantic City. What's their name? Do any of you know? The guy who did the computers, logic gates, his name is Bill Gates. The heart of gambling, Atlantic City. His name was Trump. Bet you didn't see that one coming. No, Donald Trump literally built Atlantic City. This is the facts. You want to know what's funny about the name Trump? That's literally one of the first gambling words. Did you know that? You know what Trump means? It means like triumph, like a trump card. I trump you. It literally, in gambling in the early days, before they were doing even tarot cards and all that dumb shit, they were using these cards in games, and you trump. Yeah, the trump card was the ultimate card. High card wins, trump card. What's the guy's name in Vegas? The mecca of gambling on the West Coast. What's his name? Who built that? Nah, see, you said it earlier. Steve Wynn. So why am I telling you this? You know why? Because there's a guy, and let me actually put it this way. Have you ever seen them? Those, you know, again, I'm playing you old clips even from the 40s and whatever it is, right? Again, the Taj Mahal, that was even Atlantic City, right? All of that stuff. So are you ready for this one? Have you ever seen people back in the day go, That's why some of you, maybe you don't like the meditation music when I play. Does that sound familiar? Can't you just picture a bunch of monks sitting around going, You know how long they were doing the for? Do you understand? Does it sound familiar? Guess what? Do you know where that came? Well before a man named George Ohm. Did you know that? That's where you get Ohm's law. And what does Ohm's law have to do with? Electricity. Resistance. You know, they were saying that thousands of years before Ohm. And the guy's name was Ohm, who ended up making up this law of electricity. You get it? Listen, man, I bet you those guys in the temples, if he had a different name, they would have probably been chanting, Answer, Gonzo. They would have been saying something else, probably. Do you get what I'm saying? So now we're back to electricity. Now we're back to Ohm's law. So you know what I'm trying to tell you? This is good and evil. Huh? It's the current. You know, it's funny. Current, the present, right now. And you're already living in it. But guess what? There's an electrical current. It's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. Electrical current doesn't matter. It's all about how you handle it. There's laws to it. Electrical current going in and out and how you resist it or not, that's what starts to create things. That starts to change things. You have zero resistance in your current, you're going to fry it. Ta-da. So what, you want to know how you're going to use your brain? You have to learn to control your circuit. Huh. And there's Galilee again. Very simple. Ohm's law has to do with this. The law of electricity. Can you control your circuit? Galilee. Y'all don't get it. What did Jesus tell you? You know, even if you read the verse of the day today, in Hebrews it even said it, but Jesus told you this. Well, how do you handle the devil? Do any of you know? You got one of the easiest commands to handle the devil. What did he say? Do what and he will flee from you. How do you get the devil to flee? This is from the Bible. Tell me. How do you get the devil to flee? What is the command? He says resist. He says resist and he will flee from you. You guys don't think that's a trip? You want to know why it's a trip? Because resist and resistance is an electrical term. Like I'm saying, the current in your brain, the Galilee, the circuit. Resistance is what operates your circuit. I'm teaching you how to use your brain right now, dog. Do you get it? You have a current in your brain right now, every single one of us. That's where I get these ideas. That's where you get your ideas. I say something, it's all current going back and forth. It's literally electricity. So you know what you need to learn how to do? Even based on Ohm's law? You need to learn how to resist. You have to be able to push back and allow a certain amount in. Otherwise, you are going to get overloaded. Think about it. This whole world, bro. This whole world, dog. You're filled with people who don't know how to use their brain, let alone have thought this or know this. How many people nowadays, what do you mean resist? I'm free. Resist what? That's why all these thoughts come in. You pick up your phone, all of it, bro. Think about it. You are operating a circuit board. You're Galilee, brother. With zero resistance, you are going to overload and fry it. Then you're going to feel a certain way. People get sick. They get stressed out. All of these things. It's all overloaded circuits. That's it. You realize that, right? You can't overload the circuit if you introduce the right amount of resistance. I know. Am I talking about the Bible or am I talking about electricity? So let me give you another one. I think all of you could handle this. I think everybody in here has the ability to use your brain. And you could control the resistance and control the current. And it's up to you. It's up. God gave it to you to learn how to use this. And I think you can. You need stuff in there, though. Again, you can have the computer, but how you build your computer, you're going to need stuff in that computer. What is everybody talking about right now? Everybody is talking about something. You know what it's called? RAM. Have you ever heard of that? That's SanDisk, WDC. Have you heard of the memory shortage? People are going crazy right now over RAM. You don't think that's nuts? I think this one's going to blow your mind too. You know why? What if I told you you have RAM in your brain? Literally. All right, you want me to teach you something else? Go look up Amon's horn. Do you know why? Because it's something in your brain. You have something in your brain called Amon's horn. It's literally the literal name of your hippocampus. You want to know why? Because it resembles a ram's horn. Ironically, it's even named after one of the Egyptian gods whose symbol was literally the ram. Oh, I don't know if this one's a stretch or not. But in the literal middle part of your brain, there is a structure called RAM. All of us. Amon's horn. And this is the part that is also responsible, part in part, for memory. Oh, do you get it? My friends, like I'm telling you, your brain is insane. It operates with electricity. It's all about the current. How you use your brain, my friend, is very simple. You need to learn how to resist. The right amount of current goes in. Resist the overload. You got to control it. And guess what happens? That's how you trigger the gates. You got 12 logical gates in your brain to access all 12 sections. There's 12 of everything, too. I don't even want to get into the 12. I think I've already shared that with you. That's it. Current in, current out. You got to resist it. You can't have no current in. You can't have too much in. The resistance. Again, I love it. The circuit board. Galilee. Why do you think I keep getting obsessed with this Jesus guy? Not to mention all of our similarities. But that's how you trigger the gates. You know, that's what I think is funny about all this, too. It's resistance. It's all about resistance. I told you, I want you to learn how to think. You don't realize it. Every day you're getting a thought. Every trade you're going to make, you get a thought. Every bad decision, good decision. What do you think is happening in your head? That thought is a piece of current. If you learn how to resist it to the right degree, my friend, you're going to start making some really good decisions. Vice versa. If you just act on every electrical current in your brain, my guy, it leads to overload. That's why I think it's kind of funny. Because it feels like everybody, I've heard people talk, resist. They want you to resist and fight wars that are not yours. They want you to resist in a weird physical sense, but then also, no one says anything about resistance in your mind. You get it? Man, you find a way to control these thoughts. And it's not controlling them. You're not going to be able to control them all. That's why you don't think it's weird. If I tell you, sit here right now and focus on something, I give you 30 seconds. Pick anything you want. Focus on whatever you want. You guys want to try it? Here, try this. Try this right now. I'm going to do it for 30 seconds. Pick anything. Anything you want to focus on, and that's all I want you to focus on and imagine. A car, a dog, you name it, right? Whatever you want. Pick it. Are you ready? I'm going to go in 10 seconds, and that's all I want. I want to see 30 seconds of straight focus on something. Watch this. Okay, go. That's it. That was 30 seconds. Were you able to do it? I don't think all of you couldn't do it, but did you notice how it was a lot harder than you would have thought? That was just 30 seconds. I'm sure your eyes started moving around. I'm sure you had other background thoughts. You were able to keep the focus, but that's just 30 seconds. Now you want to know what's messed up? What do you think would happen now if I said do it again for another 30 seconds? But this time, ready for this, man? I want you to imagine it. Imagine something for the next 30 seconds. Do it again. But this time, do not imagine penguins. Whatever you do, do not imagine penguins. Go. Yeah, you lost already, huh? That's only 15 seconds. Isn't that funny? You're like, oh man, isn't it weird? The penguin just showed up? How does that happen? Do you get what I'm saying? These are all, it's current. These thoughts, brain waves, your brain is running crazily. Like I'm saying, it's not control your thoughts, it's control your current. Because you're going to get thoughts back and forth. Some of them are going to be genius. Some of them are going to be good. Some of them are going to be absolutely evil. What do? Resist. You need to start learning to control the current. Enough resistance to trigger the gate. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why, man. The real resistance is in your mind, literally. I'm not telling you to fight a war that's not yours. I'm telling you, in your mind, you must learn how to resist. Handle the current of thoughts. So yeah, man. That's what I wanted to share with you today. You know, it maybe I don't know enough about all of this, and I'm fine, but I do think it's a good starting place. And if you're ever curious, go look up logical gates. Go look up circuit boards. Go look up how a computer operates. I'm saying, it's funny how some of the names of Ohm's Law to Bill Gates, this stuff's been right in front of you your whole life. He says resist. Out of all of the ways Jesus could have explained to flee from the devil, he used the electrical term. Or maybe the electrical terms copied Jesus. I don't know. But resist and he will flee. Again, how these circuit boards and all of this stuff operates. Again, you have something called RAM in the middle of your brain, literally. You got to install the RAM, brother. You can. The right amount of resistance. Handle the current in your brain. We're all going to get these thoughts. You're all going to have to go through life. You build up this circuit board. You actually give it the right amount in. Resist the overload. My brother, this is how you're going to think. The next time you're going through something, I want you to just think about resistance. That's what I want. And if you want more, go search electricity resistance. Go learn this. Learn this better than anybody. You'll see it. That way, ask yourself, man, do I need to resist this thought or do I need to pursue it? What is happening? Do I need resistance or not? Which one's going to trigger the gate? And once you start building this up, what do you think is going to happen? You are going to get full access to that RAM. And remember they say you're only using the portion of your brain. I think it makes sense. Why would you unlock the other portions if you're overloading the one portion you have? So, Chad, I hope you enjoyed this one as much as I did. I told you it was going to be a little crazy, right? I told you this one isn't going to be it's been a while since I dropped. I've been giving you, I dropped a lot of these on you last year. But yeah, this one's going to make you think. And I don't know, best part is, man, if you're interested, go look up electricity. Go look up a computer. Go look up logical gates. Okay, Bill Gates would approve. That's all. Go look up Ohm's law. And you might be able to see it a little better. If you can't handle a little, what would you do with a lot? Amen, brother. So take that to the bank. That is your philosophy, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys are subscribed. We're live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. Drop your thumbs up on the video. You're on mobile. Press hot chat. X out the chat. Hit the thumbs up button. God bless America, baby. Amen, amen. Oh, I thought Trump was going to be live. Oh, no, I think he is. Soon. What time is it? Yeah, he's supposed to start an hour ago. This guy. Cold, baby. If a humble man tell you to be humble, he a narcissist. Tell that to the arsonist, the pharmacist. I wonder about the Stalinist, the Darwinist. I must insist, the things that we up against don't play defense. So next time that you take offense, my boundary just another fence. Don't forget, remember this. Already lost everything, don't tell me about a fucking risk. I'm humble but I'm powerful, but I don't have to tell you this. Are moments that you can't forget. So if I'm fake, come and get me now. It's not a big head, I just know the size of the crown. You watched a lot of porn. Does it look like I'm fucking round? You didn't like me then, I didn't hope that you would like me now. You want peace, I want it too. You want war, I got a crew. But I won't lie, dog, I only need a few. So tell me what you really wanna do. Man, I swear I'm just like you. Cause the tongue brings life, but it brings death too. Please just move. Good advice is never taken by a fool. I took a look at life like a mechanic look at tubes. Cheap, fast, and quality, could only pick two. Mannequin, I'm rude, but in a panic, in a feud. Would you want it on your team, or do you want it against you? The humble made me hungry, I will eat any food. Humble made me better, fake humble made me confused. The truth is that there is a real humility typical of our time. But it so happens that it's practically a more poisonous humility than the wildest prostrations of the ascetic. The old humility was a spur that prevented a man from stopping, not a nail in his boots that prevented him from going on. For the old humility made a man doubtful about his efforts, which might make him work harder. But the new humility makes a man doubtful about his aims, which will make him stop working altogether.
Some people don't even have dreams. You know what I'm saying? But if you blessed enough to have a dream, chase it, bro.
I had a dream like Martin, then I heard a couple stories. Never met my heroes, never had one. Never wanted things I never had, son. I got it, then I grabbed them. Looking back, these bitches Southeast sad them. Good more, don't ignore your sword for the war. Armor's no good if you leave that shit at home. I don't care if that match up with the drum. I ain't young, I ain't care about looking dumb. Out my way, we could talk when I'm done. Does it look like I'm finished? Even if I was, dog, I do my own dishes. Why the fuck you in my business? I ain't tryna be a menace. Need a couple minutes, but you're talking in your bitch and just show me that you don't get it. Look, now I wasted your time trying to reprimand, explain the basic shit so you could understand. I ain't being mean the way I teach the big leagues, ain't throwing underhand. Not the bad guy, I'm the best coach that you ever had. Something like LaMelo's dad, mama was an immigrant, $5 an hour working with Brillo pads. We got some things we shouldn't have, so I can feel down, but I don't ever think I'm really sad. Life a miracle, but I won't give you one. But I can teach you shit, and you'll walk away with dividends. Wish you'll buy more, and then you'll wish you did it young. You missed the first harvest, but tell me about the second one. Trying to build while looking at the clouds. I'm looking at my hand, then I'm looking at the ground. Peter walked on water, but fell. When he looked around, I heard that story all my life. I think I start to get it now. Slow in the fast lane, answers in my last name. They really didn't listen, that's a damn shame. But that don't mean my plans changed. Maybe just the landscape did what I said without a handshake. 3,004 an ounce, that sound like a fair rate. Word is gold, they only kept theirs too late. So I'm out with your new face. A snake can move a few ways. And life a bitch that lie about how the fruit tastes. Welcome back.
Welcome back. We're back. Chad. I told you I'm excited, man. I told you I'm a little crazy, too. I hope you enjoyed that. I know. Go look up Ohm's Law. I think a lot of you already did. Oh, man. Oh, man. Good day. Good time to be alive. Mm-hmm. Oh, so Chad, are you feeling good, man? Still early. Kind of. It's actually 11. You're going to hear Trump again. 2 Trumps in one day. Unless he lags like heavy. He might. Trump makes remarks on economy. Oh, live in 2 hours. Yeah, they pushed it back. So it's going to be 1 p.m. Pacific. That's called Heroes by Uncle Answers. And then Humble. Humble yourself in the sight of the Lord. Some Trump RAM. I don't know, man. You got the RAM in your head. That's it. You gotta unlock it. It's already there. Just the resistance, you know. Just put it in your memory to resist. Okay. Add that. I just gave you a couple gigabytes of RAM. If you keep that in mind, and you're gonna be able to operate. I did think the Trump thing. I mean, it didn't. It kind of makes a little bit more sense, but you know, the Trump card, the gambling, I mean, it makes a lot of sense, actually. I'd say it was right in front of us the whole time. They said that Trump's the Antichrist. I said I believe he's more closer to the gambling. And like I'm saying, the Trump card is a very interesting one, but it's in the name. I mean, again, I don't know what you expected from the guy who built it. Atlantic City, of all places. The Taj Mahal, too. I forgot that one. That's part of it. Yeah, most people have learned about Ohm's Law. I mean, it's something you all know. I think it's funny that most people don't realize, like, I guess, you know, again, how many... if I ever told you imitate somebody meditating, how many people would go, Om? So, yeah, the names thing is pretty interesting, but... I was very fascinated of the logical gates. Those get me excited too. Wants to go run. You have good weather, bro? It's not raining here yet, but it looks like it's going to. But yeah, Chad, we chilling. We chilling. FBI released an advisory on malware for ATM jackpotting. Damn. That crime caused 20 million losses in 2025 alone. I've seen the videos of it. I don't know how they catch. I've seen people do it without like a mask. I'm like, what? But yeah, I feel like that's a scene from a movie. It looks like it'd be fun, bro. It looks like you hit a slot machine, but yeah. Sketch. But yeah, if you have any other questions, off topics, life, stocks, pursuit of happiness, long term. Otherwise, give me a couple minutes. I'm probably going to end up on r/short again. So it's up to you guys. It's up to you. Cloudy in Philly. What's good, bro? Get a walk in. It was raining the other day. You want me to tell you? I'll admit something to you. You guys can't make fun of me. Okay? You can't. Just don't make fun of me. Because, like, remember I told you I'm trying to get my steps up this year? I've been running a nice average, bro. My little phone telling me my pedometer. People don't use pedometers anymore, do they? That was a big technological invention back in the day. But you get it on your phone, right? It tracks my steps. I've been trying to make sure, you know, get some good steps in there every day. Stay mobile, all right? So it's been raining, and yesterday it was not good weather to really. It was cold. It would like rain on and off. So like, don't make fun of me. But you know what I did? I started just walking in a circle around my house. Dog. Cause you know, I had shit to do. I put the shit to do on my phone, and I would like look up too, so I didn't look down, and then I would just walk in circles inside of my house. Do you know how many steps I did? I was shocked. So it kind of like, it got me excited. Cause bro, I didn't have any steps, bro. So I was like, man. So you know what I did? Bro, yeah, dog. I was tripping. I got 6,000 steps. Without having to go for a walk outside, or like, I was tripping, dog. I had like 2,000 steps already, and it was late. I was like, man, I didn't even get that many steps in. So I just started taking laps around my living room, dude. Wow, just going on I edited a video on my phone. That's it. Multi helped me out a little bit, and then he sent it to me. And then I started like doing the touch-ups, and I was like, no fucking way, dude. And I hit the step goal. I surpassed it. But I was shocked. I got 6,000 steps pacing around my house, bro. That's 2 miles? What? I thought 1 mile was like 5,200 steps. But yeah, it feels like I don't even want to look at my security cameras because I feel like it looked like I was going cuckoo. Because like, dude, I was just walking laps around the living room, bro. Just over and over and over again. But no, like it hit, bro. It hit. It hit. I think I did it for like an hour, but like it didn't. To the outside world, it would have looked concerning. That's 2.8 miles. Shut up. You're not telling me I did 2.8 miles in the living room. But I'm mad though, because like I like going on the walks outside. It's nice, get some oxygen, but there's no way I fucking ran dude, I got 6,000 steps. Just running around. I didn't even run. I walked. No shoes on either. You know, I felt really nature boy out there. To the outside world. I want to look at it, but let me I feel like it's... Nah, bro. You know, I might be able to post the video if I get the automated, let's go, living room. I'm just gonna scroll to the most activity. Yeah, bro. Oh my gosh. Yeah, bro. And then I give you a crazy Philo like that today. Oh, you don't want to see this, bro. I'm looking at it right now. I'm about to fucking call the cops on this dude. Yeah, bro. I'm just taking laps. How long did this go on for? Oh, yeah. A solid hour. Yeah, fully a solid hour, bro. Amazing. Now watch it in reverse. That would look like some Exorcist movie. Yeah, man. You get 15,000 on that. That's amazing. That's good, bro. Over the weekend I had like a 20,000 step day, and then a 15,000. It was a lot. I liked it though. Nah, bro, run it. If you can't get outside, bro, then yeah, bro, that's it. You just gotta walk around. You could get, I mean, dude, you have no excuse now not to move. I just discovered this, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? Dude, it was crazy. Like, I didn't really think that was possible. I really thought, that's why I was like, man, I gotta get shoes on. And then sometimes I get itchy, all them bugs and shit, fucking nature. But nah, bro, it hit. Dude, it hit super hard. Century aluminum. Let's see. All right, man. Let's see the mental health of the short guys today. Did you guys, that clip I posted was sad. I think I saw some. Let me see. Today, this week. Yeah, son. All right, we got the first one. This kind of looks like r/tall. So first one, Yumi Kajima, only 5'3", two-time Olympic silver medal. See, you guys, you could ride horses, or you could become a figure skater. You know, whichever manly sport you want to do. Lucid air. I hate my height so much, I don't even want to see myself. Okay, that's damn it, we were getting off to a good start. I thought you guys were gonna get some propaganda here. You guys need to cheer them up. That's number 2, bro. Are you short but proportionally sized? Be thankful. I'm not, and it's the worst. Okay, I thought this was gonna be a positive one. Confidence. I'm 5'4", damn near 5'5". I think I have an issue with confidence because of life in general. People don't take me seriously. Yeah, bro, you're on Reddit posting about how small you are. Let's go. Somebody, encourage them. How to deal with insecurities about height. I'm 5'6", living in a country where 5'11" is the average. Oh my gosh. Do you have a big height difference with your siblings? Oh no, don't get the last guy. Last guy was like, I hate my brother. Enemy. Which footwear do you wear to look taller? I'm trying to get new sneakers. I mean, chunky sneakers are good. Low tops are something else. But why does no one talk about posture enough? Get taller, but nobody talks about how much height you lose from slouching all day. I fixed it a few weeks ago, and I swear I look different. Different already. There you go. That's the best one. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, I'm doing this every day. You have no idea how fun. Wait till we get to, don't worry. If you feel depressed now, we are going to move over to r/tall, then we'll see how they feel. Men under 5'5" and ugly, have you gotten female friends at the gym? I like the bluntness. I want to know if it's possible to get a female partner that you could have fun with or work out with. Okay. How tall are you? What country do you live in? All right, I like it. All right, now are you guys ready to see the other half of the world? Believe me, you can't understand the delusion till you see both sides of it. This one's kind of sad. I don't know. It says 6'5", introvert, completely isolated in countryside, but I love stillness. Well, good thing you're as tall as your chandelier, bro. I'll pray for you. When have you heard every tall joke before? Oh, must be nice, tall guys having fun. I'm in love with the tall girl. I'm 5'7" on a good day. Whoa, whoa, he infiltrated. And she's 6 foot. I've dated taller in the past and I've done the work to be secure and confident. Man, you need to get this on r/short, bro. Encourage them. Of course, I made a meme for us chronically online tall loners. We are the most... Wow, they're a little sad today. Oh, man, I feel bad now. Usually you guys are way more optimistic. Benefits of tall people. I could palm a giant beer glass. There you go. At least he doesn't hate himself. You must play basketball. What is your country's most common phrase towards tall people? You should box out, dude. Failure. The great Antonio. Unexpected perks of being tall. For instance, I think we already read these. 5'10" here. Hello, baby girl. Yeah, they don't post as much, ironically enough. Maybe that is a big difference. The short guys, they got a whole fucking thread every day. But yeah, that's our daily check-in on the tall-short dynamic. Again, I'm starting the short maxing, bald maxing revolution. So I just want to highlight, man, just go outside, talk to people. Somebody posted it on one of them. They're like, maybe we're just all online and, you know, exasperating everything. Yeah, bro, do Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, lift, and wear taller shoes so that you have a higher chance of survival. No? Okay, that's what Reddit said. That's what Reddit said. They're short or just faster at typing? Okay, man. Let me guess, you're like 8 feet tall. Must be nice, bro. Yeah. You know what? I can type pretty fast now that I think about it. I've adapted to the computer. Random act. I said I think we need propaganda. I think I'm surprised. One of you said you got banned on it. Because I was like, dude, you need to get... I haven't been on the home page, bro. Oh my gosh. Dude, what the fuck? I just opened up the front page of Reddit and it's this guy's stomach moving around. Oh, this looks like a scarab from Mummy. I'm not going to show you this. This scares me. Hot take. Beauty standards are based off PDF standards. Okay. Am I the asshole? My wife and I came home at 3 a.m. and my mother-in-law acted like we were 16 sneaking into the house. What happened in the early 2020s that died out fast and we all collectively forgot about it? Democracy. Brad Reese, grandson of the inventor of Reese's peanut butter cups, calls out Hershey for quietly replacing the ingredients in the candy. Police discover the hazing. Dude, did you see that video? I don't know. I have a hot take. I have a really hot take. But I don't know if you guys can handle it. Did you see the fraternity hazing video? Because that one is I don't know. The guy they handled it pretty badly. He was like, I don't know who to call. Yeah, Iowa. Dude, we got kicked off. That's what happened to me in college. After they hazed us, our frat got kicked off for hazing us. I'm like, do you not understand how dirty you guys are? What do you mean? So now I got hazed and I don't get to join a frat now? And now I got kicked off campus? Bullshit. Yeah, but like, I mean, the hot take is that hazing builds character. It's a federal offense. So that's why, I mean, it's sad how many, because like, then again, I have seen the bad side of it, and then you hear all the stories of the people who, like, people get killed. People are idiots, bro. I mean, especially in college, and then you're in a certain setting. You may not think it through all the time, but yeah, I think a slight amount of hazing builds character. Otherwise, but then that quickly turns into death and destruction. Judge warns smart glasses wearers of contempt charges as Zuckerberg testifies. New Department of Justice banner with Trump out front. Proof we all need dash cams. Everybody hates nuclear, Chan. Plastic in Chick-fil-A salad. That looks disgusting. Am I the asshole for replacing everything my wife loses when she organizes against my will? Honestly, bro, I feel like there hasn't been any, what's it called? Not as many of these, I haven't seen anything about ICE. It seems like a lot less political. They had J&J a little, again, Nutrila, NVAX, a lot of these, like, biotechs, but not all of them. Like, there's still Abivi and Abbott getting clapped. I only own 2 shares of Yahoo stock. Nice. Did they change my algorithm? Prince arrested. Yeah, bro. It seems politically calm. Did they catch on to us? Did they know what we were doing? All right, man. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Did they change the algo? It doesn't seem as like abrasive. That's it. I don't know unless they've picked up on what I come here for. They're like, this guy just comes on Reddit to laugh. I enjoy Reddit for that purpose. There you go. The ruling class is panicking because millennials and Gen Z own nothing. No reason to defend capitalism. Promises have collapsed and the spell is broken. No amount of Cold War rhetoric and nostalgia can reverse it. Fire, handshake, fire, handshake, fire. There you go. I had to scroll for that, bro. I had to scroll for that. Not bad. Yeah, the rite of passage for I feel you, bro. Said to consider sale of orthopedic unit at 20 billion? It's a lot, Habibi. That's actually a shit ton. Speaking of which, Etsy's still up. I think eBay buying Depop was probably my favorite purchase as of late. It was cheap. It aligns with the business. Depop, is Depop still going good? You tried to ask what the peach is? Oh, you got to figure it out. Because Moltbot figured it out. You know that? It's kind of crazy. Moltbot was able to identify the peach. He understands. You own things in your Gen Z? Really? Why don't you resist? Not in your brain, but the system. But no, I think you can. I mean, it's definitely, there's different balances. And like I've talked about before, it's like you have stuff that the other generations didn't have. You have access to credit that they didn't have. But then again, I mean, you can make money on a computer easily. And jobs pay, there's way more upside in certain jobs, but then, you know, the cost of things are up. And really, I think the saddest part about the last, like, 5-6 years, pretty much since COVID, is that the necessities are what's went up. It's not even, like, luxury goods have not gone crazy. I mean, again, a house is something you should live in, right? That's like, even if it's on the investing, it's like that is what's increased. everything else is going up. Am I only reading this chat? No, we have another chat. We have the locked in one. They're talking about people under 5'3", DHS, Johnson & Johnson. Deepak was in the Epstein files. How the hell would you go to that island? There's a lot of weird ones. Zero Hedge was in the Epstein files. Somebody sent Epstein a thing. Oh, did you see the thing though? I haven't verified this one, bro. Dude, I haven't verified it. Did you hear about the FedEx thing? I forgot. My girl showed me this one last night, and I was like, what? I was like, I didn't see that one. I don't know if it's legit or not, though, but it's kind of crazy. No, FedEx. Did you guys not hear about it? On them. We're just right at Vilwap. Hold on. Dude, I forgot. I need to verify this one, bro. Cause like it seems pretty insane. So yeah, I don't know if this one's legit or not. But essentially what happened, no dude, this one's nuts. So like literally in one of the files, he like mentions like a FedEx account to like ship a painting, and then his password for the FedEx account was in the email, and it was unredacted, and then people logged into the account, and then they noticed it was actually active, but then FedEx started deleting some of the recent invoices. So yeah, and then people are making all sorts of claims on what it was, who it could be, all of that. But I have no idea. That's why I'm like, I didn't really hear about this yesterday. My girl showed me a TikTok, and I was like, what? And if you look it up, you'll see it on Twitter. There's a couple people talking about it. But like I'm saying, you would think this would be like a bombshell. But yeah, I haven't really, even on Twitter though, there's not really that many people talking about it in a certain way. I don't know if it's propaganda. I don't know what it is, but I heard it. I said, that's interesting, but I need to verify it. Do I read any trading books? Proverbs is probably one of the best trading books out there, but no, I haven't really. Benjamin Graham, Intelligent Investor, I believe is one of the best books. It kind of covers trading there a little bit, but yeah, that's kind of how I've been on it. Big fan. You can't lose me here. Yeah, it's okay. If you lose me, just come meet me at the farm. Remember, we have a backup, worst case scenario. I'll just send you guys. It sucks though, you guys will have to come out. Or maybe I'll have Moltbot set something up. USAR popping up? I haven't seen that one in a... Yeah, USAR is kind of melting. What is that? USAR going straight up? I know, right? Stop getting your mind blown when you realize there's everybody working together at the highest level. I mean, I think that is the sad reality of it. You know, it's just, at the end of the day, like, a lot of this, people have known about this stuff for a very long time, but a lot of people kept, you know, I think it would have cost more, and they weren't willing to absorb the impact of saying no or not being tied to things in the name of other stuff, and yeah, it's kind of sad. The Intelligent Investor is such a large book. Is there a SparkNotes version? Okay, so next time you ask me for a stock, I'm gonna be like, there's so many stocks. Just go buy an ETF. What's wrong with you? Okay? Fucking read it. Your Bible's a big book, okay? No, you know Harry Potter's a big book? A lot of people read Harry Potter. Okay? I'm just messing with you, bro, but like, don't be intimidated by a large book. Okay? Like, come on, man. I'm sorry. I wish I could put intelligent investor in a TikTok, but you know, you get something out of reading. It's like I said, one of the best things you guys could do is read. I read a lot. I mean, I read a lot in the day. I've been reading a lot of different books, both fiction, nonfiction. You want to learn how to do something, you got to read. So yeah, man, just run it, bro. Reading is because you get to use your brain, you get to read, and then, I don't know, it triggers your imagination. You get to read something and you get to put it together in your own voice. It's great. There's a lot of wisdom in books too, bro. I mean, again, I started reading old King James books this year, so that was that was fun. It was there's a lot of shit that just exists in books, man. You could read a digital book. I don't know if that helps, but the good thing about a real book is that you could take a dump and still read it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I like some of these books I got, because I be taking a shit and I could open it and I'm reading on the shitter. You know, I'm like, wow, I could turn this toilet into RAM. Wait, I meant no. So, but yeah, it's good, bro. It's good. Trump appears ready to attack Iran. Hot dog. It's Washington Post. Do you approve of that one? I've never read it. Like I said, I stick to the OGs. I have not wandered. And it's kept me pretty good. I mean, like even real estate books. I think I've read one book by the Keller Williams guy, but when it's all said and done, I mean, the game of the market and the game of other things. I've listened to Buffett, and I've listened to Charlie Munger. I've listened to good talks by investors, but I haven't really read trading books per se. And then anything, you know, I've learned, I've kind of just applied it. I've picked up on wisdom from others and then started to adapt it myself. But yeah, so I don't know. But I don't like too much noise. And like I said, I mean, understanding business, money, the flow of money, and overall investing. I mean, intelligent investor in Proverbs. I mean, I think you could learn enough to take over the world. Or do your financial future at the very least. Well, and too, I mean, a lot of books. I feel you. There's always an angle in different books, but then it's like a lot of stuff is just a remix. Everything is a remix, actually. Most stuff is adapted from something else. That's why I really like old books. I like hearing the old wisdom. I'm still not done with that C.S. Lewis one. I'm on the third one, and dude, it's crazy, actually. Let me see if I can find it for you. What was that, chapter 5? Dude, there is one part in this book, dude, and I was tripping. And it's a book from the fucking 50s, dude. And it's just so, that's why it's so trippy. But, you know, to think about how things get adapted is nuts. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, chapter 5. I wrote this down. You guys want to hear a book? You want to hear an audio book? I don't know where I'm going to find it. I think...
man takes in a strange neighborhood when he has brought with him neither old clothes nor... I wasn't thinking of that at all, but the deputy director's expression became more and more courtly and confidential as Mark stammered, so that when he finally blurted out, I
need to find the... Let me see. That's it? Is this chapter 5?
The room, slamming the door behind him. He was going to see the deputy director. At the door of Withers' room, he hesitated for a moment because he heard voices from within, but he was too angry to wait. He knocked and entered without...
It's a story. It's like, it's a really deep story. It's really slow. This is That Hideous Strength by C.S. Lewis. But there's a part, dude. I literally wrote this down on my phone. It's right when he says politics aside. And, dude, it's like he starts talking and it's just... He explains the right and left. It explains your modern politics today. And as well as, like, media. But, yeah, this was written before the fucking internet. That's why it's a real trip. When I'm gonna finish mine, I don't know, bro. I gave you guys the little short book I want. I didn't know if it was gonna scare you, but I have a couple of books I've written but have not finished. So yeah, I don't know. Eventually.
Out noticing whether the knock had been answered. "My dear boy," said the deputy director, looking up but not quite fixing his eyes on Mark's face. "I'm delighted to see you." As he heard these words, Mark noticed that there was a third person in the room. "I'll come back later," said Mark. "Well, perhaps in all the..." Then she suddenly slipped her arm through his.
Yeah, this is the
"Look,
part. Listen
Sonny,"
to this part.
she said.
It'll take a couple minutes.
"You drop all that, see? It isn't going to do you any good. Come along and have a talk with me." "There's really nothing to talk about, Miss Hardcastle," said Mark. "I'm quite clear in my mind. Either I get a real job here, or I go back to Bracton. That's simple enough. I don't even particularly mind which, so long as I know." To this the fairy made no answer, and the steady pressure of her arm compelled Mark, unless he was prepared to struggle, to go with her along the passage. The intimacy and authority of her grip was ludicrously ambiguous, and would have fitted almost equally well the relations of policeman and prisoner, mistress and lover, nurse and child. Mark felt that he would look a fool if they met anyone. She brought him to her own offices, which were on the second floor. The outer office was full of what he had already learned to call waits, the girls of the Women's Auxiliary Institutional Police. The men of the force, though very much more numerous, were not so often met with indoors, but waits were constantly seen flitting to and from wherever Miss Hardcastle appeared. Far from sharing the masculine characteristic of their chief, they were, as Feverstone once said, feminine to the point of imbecility. Small and slight and fluffy and full of giggles, Miss Hardcastle behaved to them as if she were a man, and addressed them in tones of half-breezy, half-ferocious gallantry. "Cocktails, Dolly," she bawled as they entered the outer office. When they reached the inner office, she made Mark sit down, but remained standing herself, with her back to the fire and her legs wide apart. The drinks were brought, and Dolly retired, closing the door behind her. Mark had grumblingly told his grievance on the way. "Cut it out, Studdock," said Miss Hardcastle. "And whatever you do, don't go bothering the DD. I told you before that you needn't worry about all those..."
So literally, toy industry executive growth in 2025 driven by older consumers. Toy companies lean more heavily into customers, fandom-driven products. And then that Fed Moran comments, crazy. Fed Moran now sees a less accommodative rate path. That's crazy. Remember, he's your bull, dude. Fed Moran has been saying double cut at every opportunity. Says employment has held up better than anticipated. That's very surprising, especially if you think he's a Trump lackey. He's a lackey of Trump. So we'll see. What's up, bud? Well, you did a Trump lackey. You didn't like that. That's it, bro. My girl's dog just went crazy. I said Trump lackey. Did you hear that? What's up, buddy? You lackey. Alright. Yeah, that's kind of wild. And then the Cadults, bro. Funko. I can't believe it. You guys are serious? So the same people who are like, fuck housing, fuck capitalism, I want to buy a Pokemon statue, stuffed animal. You guys are the target market. This is crazy, bro. What do you mean? The corporations are catering to the Cadults. From kids to collector, toys pivot towards older fans. It's amazing, bro. All right, well, you're getting to the part. Listen.
Those little third-floor people, provided you've got him on your side, which you have at present. But you won't have if you keep on going to him with complaints. That might be very good advice, Miss Hardcastle, said Mark. If I were committed to staying here at all, but I'm not. And from what I've seen, I don't like the place. I've very nearly made up my mind to go home. Only I thought I'd just have a talk with him first to make everything clear. Making things clear is the one thing the DD can't stand, replied Miss Hardcastle. That's not how he runs the place. Mind you, he knows what he's about. It works, Sonny. You've no idea yet how well it works. As for leaving, you're not superstitious, are you? I am. I don't think it's lucky to leave the NICE. You needn't bother your head about all the steals and crosses. That's part of your apprenticeship. You're being put through it at the moment. But if you hold on, you'll come out above them. All you've got to do is sit tight. Not one of them is going to be left when we get going. That's just the sort of line Cossa took about steel, said Mark. And it didn't seem to do much good when it came to the point. Do you know, Studdock, said Miss Hardcastle, I've taken a fancy to you. And it's just as well I have, because if I hadn't, I'd be disposed to resent that last remark. I don't mean to be offensive, said Mark, but damn it all, look at it from my point of view. No good, Sonny, said Miss Hardcastle, shaking her head. You don't know enough facts yet for your point of view to be worth sixpence. You haven't yet realised what you're in on. You're being offered a chance of something far bigger than a seat in the cabinet, and there are only two alternatives, you know. Either to be in the NICE, or to be out of it. And I know better than you which is going to be most fun. I do understand that, said Mark, but anything is better than being nominally in and having nothing to do. Give me a real place in the sociological department, and I'll... Rats. That whole department is going to be scrapped. It had to be there at the beginning for...
Okay, so I'll explain it a little bit. I don't want to spoil it if you want to read it. So, spoiler alert. But, like, the NIC is like a... I don't know if... It's like the shadow government, but it's like way too... That's just like using today's modern terms. But it's like this organization, and they're like taking over this city, and then he gets like this job, but it's very obscure. And that's why she's saying, like, nah, bro, you got to do this. But wait, it's about to get... You'll see the
propaganda
purposes.
Stuff.
Oh, there it is.
But they're all going to be weeded out. But what are propaganda purposes? Understand that, said Mark. But anything is better than being nominally in and having nothing to do. Give me a real place in the sociological department, and I'll... Rats. That whole department is going to be scrapped. It had to be there at the beginning for propaganda purposes.
Propaganda purposes.
But they're all going to be weeded out. But what assurance have I that I'm going to be one of their successors? You aren't. They're not going to have any successors. The real work has nothing to do with all these departments. The kind of sociology we're interested in will be done by my people, the police.
Listen to this.
Then where do I come in? If you'll trust me, said the fairy, putting down her empty glass and producing a cheroot.
Trump says 10 to 15 days maximum for Iran talks. Pretty much maximum. So SPY's going down a little off that. Oil hasn't moved. Again, you have Microsoft and tech going down, but then a couple of staples as well. And Dow components. Again, Dow's the worst on the day, but NASDAQ is catching up to it. So these risk-off factors are, again, you have staples drilling, actually. Uh-oh. I think you have staples and a little bit of decline on software, but you are going to the low.
I can put you onto a bit of your real work. What you were really brought here to do straight away. What's that? Alakazam, said Miss Hardcastle between her teeth. She had started one of her interminable dry smokes, then glancing at Mark with a hint of contempt. You know who I'm talking about, don't you?
King
You mean
Charles
the
is coming to
radiologist,
the U.S.
the
soon.
man who was guillotined? Asked Mark, who was
Trump says he does not know whether aliens are real or not. Where is he, bro? This has to be one of those helicopter videos. Again, you have literally Staples drilling, and then Tech is coming down here. So that's why I think you're actually running towards the lows. But again, watch the NASDAQ and Dow dynamic. That's still at play. He said he would love to have China and Russia on the board of peace.
completely bewildered. The fairy nodded. He's to be rehabilitated, she said, gradually. I've got all the facts in the dossier. You begin with a quiet little article, not questioning his guilt, not at first, but just hinting that, of course, he was a member of their
Listen to what she says
quisling
after.
government, and there was a prejudice against him. Say you don't doubt the verdict was just, but it's disquieting to realise that it would almost certainly have been the same, even if he'd been innocent. Then you follow it up in a day or two with an article of quite a different kind.
You hear this?
Popular account of the value of his work. You can mug up the facts, enough for that kind of article, in an afternoon. Then a letter, rather indignant, to the paper that printed the first article, and going much further, the execution was a miscarriage of justice. By that time, what on earth is the point of all this? I'm telling you, Studdick, Alcazan is to be rehabilitated, made into a martyr, an irreparable loss to the human race. But what for? There you go again. You grumble about being given nothing to do, and as soon as I suggest a bit of real work, you expect to have the whole plan of campaign told you before you do it. Doesn't make sense. That's not the way to get on here. The great thing is to do what you're told. If you turn out to be any good, you'll soon understand what's going on. But you've got to begin by doing the work. You don't seem to realise what we are. We're an army. Anyway, said Mark, I'm not a journalist. I didn't come here to write newspaper articles. I tried to make that clear to Feverstone at the very beginning. The sooner you drop all the talk about what you came here to do, the better you'll get on. I'm speaking for your own good, Studdick. You can write. That's one of the things you're wanted for. Then I've come here under a misunderstanding, said Mark. The sop to his literary vanity at that period of his career by no means compensated for the implication that his sociology was of no importance. I've no notion of spending my life writing newspaper articles, he said. And if I had, I'd want to know a good deal more about the politics of the NICE before I went in for that sort of thing. Haven't you been told that it's strictly non-political?
Okay, listen to this.
I've been told so many things that I don't know whether I'm on my head or my heels, said Mark. But I don't see how one's going to start a newspaper stunt, which is about what this comes to, without being political.
Listen.
Is it left or right papers that are going to print all this rot about Alcazan? Both, honey. Both, said Miss Hardcastle. You don't understand anything. Isn't it absolutely essential to keep a fierce left and a fierce right?
Listen to this.
Both on their toes and each terrified of the other? That's how we get things done. Any opposition to the NICE is represented as a left racket in the right papers and a right racket in the left papers. If it's properly done, you get each side outbidding the other to support us, to refute the enemy's slanders. Of course, we're non-political. The real power always is. I don't believe that you can do that, said Mark. Not with the papers that are read by educated people. That shows you're still in the nursery, lovey, said Miss Hardcastle. You haven't yet realised that it's the other way round. How do you mean? Why, you fool, it's the educated reader who can be gulled. All our difficulty comes with the others. When did you meet a workman who believes the papers? He takes it for granted that they're all propaganda, and skips the leading articles. He buys his paper for the football results, and the little paragraphs about girls falling out of windows and corpses found in Mayfair flats. He is our problem. We have to recondition him. But the educated public, the people who read the highbrow weeklies, don't need reconditioning. They're all right already. They'll believe anything.
Dude.
As one of the class you mention, said Mark with a smile, I just don't believe it. Good Lord, said the fairy. Where are your eyes? Look at what the weeklies have got away with. Look at the weekly question. There's a paper for you. When basic English came in simply as the invention of a free-thinking Cambridge Don, nothing was too good for it. As soon as it was taken up by a Tory Prime Minister, it became a menace to the purity of our language. And wasn't the monarchy an expensive absurdity for 10 years? And then, when the Duke of Windsor abdicated, didn't the question go all monarchist and legitimist for about a fortnight? Did they drop a single reader? Don't you see that the educated reader can't stop reading the highbrow weeklies whatever they do? He can't. He's been conditioned. Well, said Mark, this is all very interesting, Miss Hardcastle, but it has nothing to do with me. In the first place, I don't want to become a journalist at all, and if I did, I should like to be an honest journalist. Very well, said Miss Hardcastle. All you do is help to ruin this country, and perhaps the whole human race, besides dishing your own career. The confidential tone in which she had been speaking.
Did you hear that? Gold means like gullible, like tricked. So yeah, well, he gave you that's propaganda 101. I forgot when this book was written. I think at least the 60s. Let me see. Oh no, that was written August 16th, 1945. That's when you got that book. Talking about the right, the left. The power is in the non-political. You need a fierce right and you need a fierce left. And then that way, they all rebuttal each other. And he said, I mean, you're telling me this isn't very prophetic about what writes now? And then he said, what do you mean? He said the people who read he said it's easier to trick the educated readers than the non. He said, go take the guy who works in the fields and the people, they're going to view these papers as, by default, propaganda. They just want the sports results and the drama. He called it slop, believe it or not, in 1945. And then, so he said, but you notice, you get the changes, you get the one guy literally, it borderline described even Trump to a degree, and how people, you know, one time they'll regard it as a certain way, and then somebody that they disregard takes it up, and they still keep reading and doing all that. I'm gonna play it again for you, bro.
Left and a fierce right. Things that I don't know whether I'm on my head or my heels, said Mark. But I don't see how one's going to start a newspaper stunt, which is about what this comes to, without being political. Is it left or right papers that are going to print all this rot about Alcazan? Both, honey. Both, said Miss Hardcastle. You don't understand anything. Isn't it absolutely essential to keep a fierce left and a fierce right? Both on their toes and each terrified of the other? That's how we get things done. Any opposition to the NICE is represented as a left racket in the right papers and a right racket in the left papers. If it's properly done, you get each side outbidding the other to support us, to refute the enemy's slanders. Of course, we're non-political. The real power always is. I don't believe that you can do that, said Mark. Not with the papers that are read by educated people. That shows you're still in the nursery, lovey, said Miss Hardcastle. You haven't yet realised that it's the other way
Still
around.
in the nursery, lovey.
How do you mean? Why, you fool. It's the educated reader who can be gulled. All our difficulty comes with the others. When did you meet a workman who believes the papers? He takes it for granted that they're all propaganda, and skips the leading articles. He buys his paper for the football results, and the little paragraphs about girls falling out of windows and corpses found in Mayfair flats. He is our problem. We have to recondition him. But the educated public, the people who read the highbrow weeklies, don't need reconditioning. They're all right already. They'll believe anything. As one of the class you mention, said Mark with a smile, I just don't believe it. Good Lord, said the fairy. Where are your eyes? Look at what the weeklies have got away with. Look at the weekly question. There's a paper for you. When basic English came in simply as the invention of a free-thinking Cambridge Don, nothing was too good for it. As soon as it was taken up by a Tory Prime Minister, it became a menace to the purity of our language. And wasn't the monarchy an expensive absurdity for 10 years? And then, when the Duke of Windsor abdicated, didn't the question go all monarchist and legitimist for about a fortnight? Did they drop a single reader? Don't you see that the educated reader can't stop reading the highbrow weeklies, whatever they do? He can't. He's been conditioned.
Being conditioned.
Well, said Mark, this is all very interesting.
Okay, I can keep. I don't know if you. Yeah, you guys. It's a very long book, but it's entertaining. But yes, dude, it's fiction. But then it's like you got to think a little bit. But it's low. It's all fake. I mean, it's all just a story. That's why I've been liking the fiction rate, at least by C.S. Lewis, a good fiction writer, bro. It's like if you could make it like entertaining, but then still have the what's it called? The like it's dropping facts, bro. And again, this is from 1945. I haven't finished this one yet. This is called The Hideous Strength by C.S. Lewis. But people have talked about it. They're like, holy shit. It's like this organization. It's like supposed to represent like propaganda or like the deep state. But then it's like it has stuff to do with like it's fiction. It's like a little couple things about space, the future, stuff like that. Like it's not like it's like the guy who wrote. This is the guy who wrote Chronicles of Narnia. Like it has a deeper meaning, and you could attach it to real life if you want to, but it's a made-up. It's just a story. Oh shit. So yeah, it's just a story though. I know, bro. Classic fiction turned into non-fiction. But yeah, bro, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. I love it. I haven't finished it yet though. It's long. That's why I'll either read it or then I'll switch between the audiobook if I go on my walk. But yeah, I wrote that one down a couple of weeks ago, and I wanted to show. It was just I didn't know how to explain it. You had to just hear it, because it's good and it's entertaining if you like the story aspect. That's why I told you the video I made on last Friday or last week that was inspired by both C.S. Lewis and Napoleon Hill, mixed in with a little bit of AI, you know. So that was fun. But I like fiction now. I haven't. That's why when I read his other one, the like Other Side of the Sun or something. I forgot what it's called. It's called like The Other Side, but it's I haven't read fiction in a long time. That's what I was thinking about. I was like, dude, I can't remember the last time I read like a fiction book. I mean, the Bible. Yeah, shut it. No, but like I'll be reading the Bible. I've read like financial books. They're like stuff about the world, stuff about electricity, AI. I've read research papers. But, like, I haven't read a fucking non-fiction story in a minute, dude. Again, the Napoleon Hill one, I read that one back in the day. I read that in, like, 2018, 2017. So, yeah, that was really, really fun. But yeah, The Alchemist, that's a good one, too. That's what I'm saying. A good fiction book, like, it should have it should be an entertaining story, but then also kind of speak to elements of life. I know. C.S. Lewis, bro. He is I can't believe it, bro. He is one of the best. I'm a big fan of C.S. Lewis. That's the guy who wrote Screw Tape Letters. Actually, that's the last fiction I read with you guys. You read that in a Christian youth group? Really? No way. Bro, I haven't heard about this book till recently. Again, it just has to do Out of the Silent Planet. That's the book. That's the first one. BBY partnering with OpenAI. Best Buy confirmed they're participating in tests. I think that one's going to fade. WBD faded. But yeah, remember, who was it last time? Wasn't it BBBY? They did Best Buy and Bed Bath & Beyond. Yeah, it's Out of the Silent Planet, Perlandra, and the Hideous. I haven't read Perlandra. I read Out of the Silent Planet and then The Hideous Strength. This book is like, it takes a long time, bro. It takes like, it doesn't get good until like chapter 5. That's what I just read. I had it read there. But like, yeah, it takes a long time. This one's slow, but it's a very worthy investment. You know, because the other one, Out of the Silent Planet, that shit gets popping real quick. But yeah, so I don't know. Read. I might even play you guys an Intelligent Investor. Because Homeboy was saying you don't like long books. But like, dawg, bro, you got to. Just to stay awake on the catwalk of life where everybody watch you. Here, would you like to read a little bit? Let me see. And I don't know, why not just do an audio book? If you can't handle it, bro. You read Perlandra in your Christian lit class? No way. You guys are lucky, bro. These are good. I read The Great Divorce. I've read the Screw Tape Letters. USA! 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 Oh, I forgot I had this up. I said it's hype. I'm sorry, I love a good USA chant. He's at a steel mill. He's not live yet, though. Then 3 minutes till power hour. See, but that's the thing, though. Some of you might need to read fiction to get you into nonfiction. Because I already like nonfiction. I'm just weird like that, but... Dude, I'm telling you, when you read a good fiction book, if it's a good story, you're going to like reading, even if it's a lot of words, my friend. I'm telling you, it's a good time, bro. It's a good time. Here's Benjamin Graham, bro.
Chapter 8. The Investor and Market Fluctuation.
This is Chapter 8 of Intelligent Investor.
To the extent that the investor's funds are placed in high-grade bonds of relatively short maturity, say, of 7 years or less, he will not be affected significantly by changes in market prices and need...
See, people don't like Intelligent Investor. This is nonfiction, you guys. People have called the book dense, but I'm telling you, give it a read, give it a listen. If you could read this book, you will learn everything you need to do with a market without being a crackhead. I'm telling you, I genuinely believe this is the only book you need for the stock market, and you will make a fortune if you actually apply it. And give it a couple reads. It's as big as the Bible, I'm pretty sure, but
not take them into account. This applies also to his holdings of U.S. savings bonds, which he can always turn in at his cost price or more. His longer-term bonds may have relatively wide price swings during their lifetimes, and his common stock portfolio
he's talking long duration.
Is almost certain to fluctuate in value over any period of several years. The investor should know about these possibilities and should be prepared for them both financially and psychologically. He will want to benefit from changes in market levels, certainly through an advance in the value of his stock holdings as time goes on, and perhaps also by making purchases and sales at advantageous prices. This interest on his part is inevitable, and legitimate enough. But it involves the very real danger that it will lead him into speculative attitudes and activities. It is easy for us to tell you not to speculate. The hard thing will be for you to follow this advice.
See, y'all tripping! And of course he may fall into speculative behavior. It's hard not to, and we may tell you, but it's man, run it back, fucking European dude.
So by making purchases and sales at advantageous prices. This interest on his part is inevitable, and legitimate enough. But it involves the very real danger that it will lead him into speculative attitudes and activities. It is easy for us to tell you not to speculate. The hard thing will be for you to follow this advice. Let us repeat what we said at the outset. If you want to speculate, do so with your eyes open, knowing that you will probably lose money in the end. Be sure to limit the amount at risk and to separate it completely from your investment program.
Y'all don't, man, y'all don't even need me. Y'all gotta go read, man. See, y'all think I'm a crackhead? You think I'm crazy? Did you not just hear it? He said you separate it He said if you're going to speculate, no one's telling you not to speculate. You just have to be aware of it. And if you're aware of it, you should know you're ultimately going to lose money in the end. So then what do? If you are going to wind up into a speculative nature or attitude, you must be aware that in the long run, everybody loses. Don't be a dum-dum. And then you lower the amount. That's why I said you just have to limit your amount of risk. And then what? Did you catch it? And then what? Oh, y'all don't feel me. Dog, they don't feel, dog. What? And then what? No, he said something else. Please don't miss it. Please don't miss it. Isn't the market speculation? Yes, motherfucker, but there's a way to do it. No, y'all missed it.
To tell you not to speculate, the hard thing will be for you to follow this advice.
Yeah, that's the hard part. That's the hard part.
Let us repeat what we said at the outset.
Listen.
If you want to speculate, do so with your eyes open, knowing that you will probably lose money in the end. Be sure to limit the amount of risk and to separate it completely from your investment program.
Oh, y'all didn't get it. What did he say? What did he say? What did he say? Oh. LYV earnings leak? You're seeing 6.31 billion? Let me check. He said, separate them completely from your investing program. Oh, man. I don't see it. Yeah, I think it's circling on Twitter, but that's about it. But yeah, LYV, it could be until that comes out. I could compare it to the guidance, but that's already ripping. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm trying to get the other one. Let's see. It didn't come across this wire? No, they're participating at a conference. That was a couple days ago. So yeah, they're already tweaking out all the options on there. I don't know what it compares to on the estimates. 631 versus 61. I don't know any of the other numbers. Said keep it separated. See, but that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, you guys realize this book, this is how you taught Buffett. And that's what I'm saying. When I share this stuff with you, I don't know if you guys think I'm just a religious nut job, but this is all rooted in the wisdom of, like, really making money in markets. Again, yes, markets are naturally speculative. That's fine. There is a way to do it properly, but you have to again, do it with your eyes open, and you got to really be aware of the attitude. You cannot be naive to think that speculation is what's going to make you a lifetime of wealth in the market. Can it add around and pad the stats? Of course it can. But you need to be aware. You're not going to do it forever. There's going to be periods. That's why I like certain volatile periods and all of that. But again, you must separate it completely from your investing program. That's something I've always told y'all, and I don't know if you thought it was because I hated Robinhood or what, but like I'm telling you, bro, you should give this book a read. These are some age-old wisdoms that have not changed, bro. And this stuff is what will actually keep you alive, and people have been doing this to stay alive and to excel at this. Because I'm telling you, bro, this is only a minute into it, bro. It's a chapter 8, though. Some people won't even make it to chapter 8.
We shall deal first with the more important subject of price changes in common stocks, and pass later to the area of bonds. In Chapter 3 we supplied a historical survey of the stock market.
This is Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham.
Years. In this section we shall return to that material from time to time, in order to see what the past record promises the investor, in either the form of long-term appreciation of a portfolio held relatively unchanged through successive rises and declines, or in the possibilities of buying near bear market lows and selling not too far below bull market highs. Market fluctuations as a guide to investment decisions. Since common stocks, even of investment grade, are subject to recurrent and wide fluctuations in their prices, the intelligent investor should be interested in the possibilities of profiting from these pendulum swings. There are two possible ways by which he may try to do this, the way of timing and the way of pricing. By timing we mean the endeavor to anticipate.
Yeah, I'm gonna let it play. Are you following? No matter how good the stock is, it's always gonna swing. That's just life. So what are your 2 ways to profit? You have 2 ways to make money. And I'll tell you right now, most people aren't good at one of them. Most people, you're going to be bad at one of them. There's one you could get a little bit better at. What is it? Off timing and pricing. Those are your 2 factors. Timing and pricing. Bad time to buy stocks at the high because they're all ripped. Focus on pricing. Everything, you got better prices, then you go with timing or you go on one. But you're most likely going to do better on pricing. That's the whole make your money on the buy.
Anticipate the action of the stock market, to buy or hold when the future course is deemed to be upward, to sell or refrain from buying when the course is downward. By pricing we mean the endeavor to buy stocks when they are quoted below their fair value and to sell them when they rise above such value. A less ambitious form of pricing is the simple effort to make sure that when you buy you do not pay too much for your stocks. This may suffice for...
Again, even if you don't want to do value, fair value, book value, any of that shit, just make sure you're paying a fair price. Is the highest price possible a fair price? If you walked into a store to buy something, and eggs, and it was the highest price you've ever seen eggs, is that a fair price? No. Does it have to be at the very bottom, the lowest price? No, just a fair price, my friends. A fair price. Brought to you by Long-Term Monthly.
For the defensive investor, whose emphasis is on long pull holding, but as such it represents an essential minimum of attention to market levels. 1. We are convinced that the intelligent investor can derive satisfactory results from pricing of either type.
So again, and if you have the defensive approach, which equals a longer term, you're not looking to buy low, sell high, which he discusses. What is he saying? Then at that, he said you don't even need to really look at the levels that often. They don't really matter as much, especially if you're buying a fair price.
We are equally sure that if he places his emphasis on timing, in the sense of forecasting, he will end up as a speculator and with a speculator's financial results. This distinction may seem rather tenuous to the layman, and it is not mentioned to market levels. 1. We are convinced that the intelligent investor can derive satisfactory results from pricing of either type. We are equally sure that if he places his emphasis on timing, in the sense of forecasting, he will end up as a speculator and with a speculator's financial results. This distinction may seem rather tenuous to the...
You see it, timing, but in the sense of forecasting. So is it a good time to buy anything? Why do you think that? Because it's going to go up by this time. I forecast the shift. He said, what's going to happen? You're more likely to fall into speculation, and then what's going to happen? You are going to get the results of a speculator. He does distinguish this. There is investing results, and then there's speculation results. Oh, man. This is only 3 minutes. I keep pausing.
The layman, and it is not commonly accepted on Wall Street. As a matter of business practice, or perhaps of thoroughgoing conviction, the stockbrokers and the investment services seem wedded to the principle that both investors and speculators in common stocks should devote careful attention to market forecasts. The farther one gets from Wall Street, the more skepticism one will find, we believe, as to the pretensions of stock market forecasting or timing. The investor can scarcely take seriously the innumerable predictions which appear almost daily and are his for the asking. Yet in many cases he pays attention to them and even acts upon them. Why? Because he has been persuaded that it is important for him to form some opinion of the future course of the stock market, and because he feels that the brokerage or service forecast is at least more dependable than his own.
You realize Buffett's homie was telling you Wall Street's bullshit? That they have all emphasized this idea of forecasting. Every viral post on a stock is all because a motherfucker telling you Bitcoin going to $1 million. This stock is at a great price. It's going to be here now. This is happening in the economy, so we forecast this. He was telling you Wall Street's bullshit. Y'all wonder how I ended up this way. Why do you trust the random forecast or one that would be placed in authority more than your own? But then again, do you realize you are revolving around timing, not pricing?
We lack space here to discuss in detail the pros and cons of market forecasting. A great deal of brain power goes into this field, and undoubtedly some people can make money by being good stock market analysts. But it is absurd to think that the general public can ever make money out of market forecasts. For who will buy when the general public, at a given signal, rushes to sell out at a profit? If you, the reader, expect to get rich over the years by following some system or leadership in market forecasting, you must be expecting to try to do what countless others are aiming at, and to be able to do it better than your numerous competitors in the market. There is no basis either in logic or in experience for assuming that any typical or average investor can anticipate market movements more successfully than the general public, of which he is himself a part. There is one aspect of the timing philosophy which seems to have escaped everyone's notice. Timing is of great psychological importance to the speculator because he wants to make his profit in a hurry. The idea of waiting a year before his stock moves up is repugnant to him. But a waiting period, as such, is of no consequence to the investor. What advantage is there to him in having his money uninvested until he receives some, presumably, trustworthy signal that the time has come to buy? He enjoys an advantage only if by waiting he succeeds in buying later at a sufficiently lower price to offset his loss of dividend income. What this means is that timing is of no real value to the investor unless it coincides with pricing, that is.
Do you want me to keep interrupting or should I just let this ride? Are you hearing this? Something that is lost notice of the speculators. They want their profit quickly. It means nothing to the investor if you wait a year, collect dividends. Oh, trustworthy. Oh my gosh. Praise the Lord. So, you want me to just let it ride? That's a great power hour. I'm glad I'm glad C.S. Lewis got us here. You were saying y'all don't want to read books. But this is, bro, do you realize this was like, when I was some of your guys' age, this is what I started reading. Again, I read that Jim Cramer book when I was a kid. This was the next one. After I got over the Jim Cramer books, this is what I got into. And that's what I'm saying, bro. It was, I got to learn this a long time ago, and I hope you do learn it and keep it with you, but it's real, and it works. I mean, some of you got to see it with the long term, but it's just like, dude, the sooner you understand this, the sooner you're going to be better off. Even in the first minute, bro, if you go and speculate all you want, bro, that's what I'm telling you. You can't speculate, but you should separate it completely from all of this. And if you could actually apply it, bro, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's a change in mindset. That's the problem. You know, I think I've been able to mix the two, and sometimes early on, you got to be careful that the mindset doesn't shift to speculation. But it's like, dude, if you could separate these and think like a real investor, an intelligent investor, there's a simple formula, and you should play your advantages.
Unless it enables him...
This is Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham.
...to repurchase his shares at substantially under his previous selling price. In this respect, the famous Dow theory for timing purchases and sales has had an unusual history. Briefly, this technique takes its signal to buy from a special kind of breakthrough of the stock averages on the upside, and its selling signal from a similar breakthrough on the downside. The calculated, not necessarily actual, results of using this method showed an almost unbroken series of profits in operations from 1897 to the early 1960s. On the basis of this presentation, the practical value of the Dow theory would have appeared firmly established. The doubts, if any, would apply to the dependability of this published record as a picture of what a Dow theorist would actually have done in the market. A closer study of the figures indicates that the quality of the results shown by the Dow theory changed radically after 1938, a few years after the theory had begun to be taken seriously on Wall Street. Its spectacular achievement had been in giving a sell signal, at 306, about a month before the 1929 crash, and in keeping its followers out of the long bear market until things had pretty well righted themselves, at 84, in 1933. But from 1938 on, the Dow theory operated mainly by taking its practitioners out at a pretty good price but then putting them back in again at a higher price. For nearly 30 years thereafter, one would have done appreciably better by just buying and holding the Dow Jones Industrial Average. 2. In our view, based on much study of this problem, the change in the Dow theory results is not accidental. It demonstrates an inherent characteristic of forecasting and trading formulas in the fields of business and finance. Those formulas that gain adherence and importance do so because they have worked well over a period, or sometimes merely because they have been plausibly adapted to the statistical record of the past. But as their acceptance increases, their reliability tends to diminish. This happens for two reasons. First, the passage of time brings new conditions which the old formula no longer fits. Second, in stock market affairs, the popularity of a trading theory has itself an influence on the market's behavior which detracts in the long run from its profit-making possibilities. The popularity of something like the Dow theory may seem to create its own vindication, since it would make the market advance or decline by the very action of its followers when a buying or selling signal is given. A stampede of this kind is, of course, much more of a danger than an advantage to the public trader, buy low sell high approach. We are convinced that the average investor cannot deal successfully with price movements by endeavoring to forecast them. Can he benefit from them after they have taken place, i.e., by buying after each major decline and selling out after each major advance? The fluctuations of the market over a period of many years prior to 1950 lent considerable encouragement to that idea. In fact, a classic definition of a shrewd investor was one who bought in a bear market when everyone else was selling, and sold out in a bull market when everyone else was buying. If we examine our chart I, covering the fluctuations of the Standard & Poor's Composite Index between 1900 and 1970, and the supporting figures in Table 3.1, p. 66, we can readily see why this viewpoint appeared valid until fairly recent years. Between 1897 and 1949 there were 10 complete market cycles, running from bear market low to bull market high and back to bear market low. 6 of these took no longer than 4 years, 4 ran for 6 or 7 years, and 1, the famous New Era cycle of 1921-1932, lasted 11 years. The percentage of advance from the lows to highs ranged from 44% to 500%, with most between about 50% and 100%. The percentage of subsequent declines ranged.
This is chapter 8, 10 minutes into the audiobook. Again, it has these, like, what's it called? These charts. It doesn't show it on here, but the actual book has it. I might have to get you guys the book and do it. But again, I mean, I do think a lot of you, I've recommended this book for a very long time. Again, you guys asked me what I read. This is the only book I've read. Again, besides the Jim Cramer ones and Proverbs. But yeah, this is, like I said, if you could really understand this and you have the wherewithal to, like, treat it seriously, I think it's going to do a lot of changing in that circuit board of yours.
Ranged from 24% to 89%, with most found between 40% and 50%. It should be remembered that a decline of 50% fully offsets a preceding advance of 100%. The Investor and Market Fluctuations 193. nearly all the bull markets had a number of well-defined characteristics in common, such as 1. A historically high price level, 2. High price earnings ratios, 3. Low dividend yields as against bond yields, 4. Much speculation on margin, and 5. Many offerings of new common stock issues of poor quality. Thus, to the student of stock market history, it appeared that the intelligent investor should have been able to identify the recurrent bear and bull markets, to buy in the former and sell in the latter, and to do so for the most part at reasonably short intervals of time. Various methods were developed for determining buying and selling levels of the general market, based on either value factors or percentage movements of prices or both. But we must point out that even prior to the unprecedented bull market that began in 1949, there were sufficient variations in the successive market cycles to complicate and sometimes frustrate the desirable process of buying low and selling high.
Trump says that he plans to push Save America through U.S. Congress using the filibuster if needed, citing Mr. Smith goes to Washington, while outlining proposals including mandatory voter ID. Then Bank of America commits $25 billion of cash to private credit deals. Uh-oh, hot dog. Man. And again, LYV off of the earnings shit. It hasn't necessarily hit the wire, but yeah, I don't know if it's like a real leak or not.
Most notable of these departures, of course, was the great bull market of the late 1920s, which threw all calculations badly out of gear. Even in 1949. Therefore, it was by no means a certainty that the investor could base his financial policies and procedures mainly on the endeavor to buy at low levels in bear markets and to sell out at high levels in bull markets. It turned out, in the sequel, that the opposite was true. The market's behavior in the past 20 years has not followed the former pattern, nor obeyed what once were well-established danger signals, nor permitted its successful exploitation by applying old rules for buying low and selling high. Whether the old, fairly regular bull and bear market pattern will eventually return we do not know. But it seems unrealistic to us for the investor to endeavor to base his present policy on the classic formula I.E., to wait for demonstrable bear market levels before buying any common stocks. Our recommended policy has, however, made provision for changes in the proportion of common stocks to bonds in the portfolio, if the
I have to stop. What did he say? What did he say, bro? What did he say, bro?
Will eventually return we do not know. But it seems unrealistic to us for the investor to endeavor to base his present policy on the classic formula I.E., to wait for demonstrable bear market levels before buying any common stocks. Our recommended policy has, however, present policy on the classic formula I.E., to wait for demonstrable bear market levels before buying any common stocks.
Do you see what he warns against? So saying the sooner you picked up on this in life, it would be better. You're not supposed to wait for a demonstrably bear market to want to start investing in anything. That's not the whole idea of this. Again, timing and pricing, but it's not as if you have to wait for the biggest of biggest declines to invest and actually profit off of it. That's a big one. That's a big one a lot of people have ignored, even over the last 5-10 years. Again, actually even from the fucking 80s, dude. Especially when you see all the ups and downs, and then mix in the speculation mindset. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yes, this is Intelligent Investor, a book from the 50s. They've updated it with, that's why it starts to talk about, like, the 70s and 80s, but, yes, a lot of the original concepts. This is from the 50s. This was Warren Buffett's mentor. LYV coming up. We still haven't moved. What we got, 30 minutes, 35 minutes left? You have 45 minutes left in this recording.
Our recommended policy has, however, made provision for changes in the proportion of common stocks to bonds in the portfolio, if the investor chooses to do so, according as the level of stock prices appears less or more attractive by value standards. Formula plans. In the early years of the stock market rise that began in 1949-50, considerable interest was attracted to various methods of taking advantage of the stock market's cycles. These have been known as formula investment plans. The essence of all such plans, except the simple case of dollar averaging, is that the investor automatically does some selling of common stocks when the market advances substantially. In many of them, a very large rise in the market level would result in the sale of all common stock holdings. Others provided for retention of a minor proportion of equities under all circumstances. This approach had the double appeal of sounding logical and conservative, and of showing excellent results when applied retrospectively to the stock market over many years in the past. Unfortunately, its vogue grew greatest at the very time when it was destined to work least well. Many of the formula planners found themselves entirely or nearly out of the stock market at some level in the middle 1950s. True, they had realized excellent profits, but in a broad sense the market ran away from them thereafter, and their formulas gave them little opportunity to buy back a common stock position. There is a similarity between the experience of those adopting the formula investing approach in the early 1950s and those who embraced the purely mechanical version of the Dow theory some 20 years earlier. In both cases, the advent of popularity marked almost the exact moment when the system ceased to work well. We have had a like discomforting experience with our own central value method of determining indicated buying and selling levels of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. The moral seems to be that any approach to money making in the stock market which can be easily described and followed by a lot of people is by its terms too simple and too easy to last. Spinoza's concluding remark applies to Wall Street.
Did you guys get that one? I hope you have it. I hope you have, man. Have you understood this, what he just said? It has a weird logical appeal where he says if you sell out at the highs, even though it's up, or if you say I'll sell out a set amount if it goes up, he says eventually if you sell out at every gain, you're gonna run out of stock to sell. Oh man.
As well as to philosophy, all things excellent are as difficult as they are rare. Market fluctuations of the investor's portfolio. Every investor who owns common stocks must expect to see them fluctuate in value over the years. The behavior of the Dow Jones Industrial Average since our last edition was written in 1964 probably reflects pretty well what has happened to the stock portfolio of a conservative investor who limited his stock holdings to those of large, prominent, and conservatively financed corporations. The overall value advanced from an average level of about 890 to a high of 995 in 1966, and 985 again in 1968, fell to 631 in 1970, and made an almost full recovery to 940 in early 1971. Since the individual issues set their high and low marks at different times, the fluctuations in the Dow Jones Group as a whole are less severe than those in the separate components. We have traced through the price fluctuations of other types of diversified and conservative common stock portfolios, and we find that the overall results are not likely to be markedly different from the above. In general, the shares of second-line companies fluctuate more widely than the major ones, but this does not necessarily mean that a group of well-established but smaller companies will make a poorer showing over a fairly long period. In any case, the investor may as well resign himself in advance to the probability rather than the mere possibility that most of his holdings will advance, say, 50% or more from their low point and decline the equivalent 1/3 or more from their high point at various periods in the next 5 years. A serious investor is not likely to believe that the day-to-day or even month-to-month fluctuations of the stock market make him richer or poorer. But what about the longer-term and wider changes? Here practical questions present themselves, and the psychological problems are likely to grow complicated. A substantial rise in the market is at once a legitimate reason for satisfaction and a cause for prudent concern, but it may also bring a strong temptation toward imprudent action. Your shares have advanced, good. you are richer than you were. Good. But has the price risen too high, and should you think of selling? Or should you kick yourself for not having bought more shares when the level was lower? Or worst thought of all, should you now give way to the bull market atmosphere, become infected with the enthusiasm, the overconfidence and the greed of the great public, of which, after all, you are a part, and make...
Dog, are you hearing this? Come on. It's high. I'm richer. Should I sell out because the price is too high? Should I kick myself for not buying more? Should I give in to the greed of the bull market? Oh, praise the Lord. Long term.
Larger and dangerous commitments? Presented thus in print, the answer to the last question is a self-evident no, but even the intelligent investor is likely to need considerable willpower to keep from following the crowd.
Even the intelligent investor will need a considerable willpower to follow the crowd, my friend. To not follow the crowd. Oh, is thy will not as strong as thy fist?
It is for these reasons of human nature, even more than by calculation of financial gain or loss, that we favor some kind of mechanical method for varying the proportion of bonds to stocks in the investor's portfolio. The chief advantage, perhaps, is that such a formula will give him something to do. As the market advances, he will from time to time make sales out of his stock holdings, putting the proceeds into bonds. As it declines, he will reverse the procedure. These activities will provide some outlet for his otherwise too pent-up energies. If he is the right kind of investor, he will take added satisfaction from the thought that his operations are exactly opposite from those of the crowd.
You hear that? He said pent-up energy. Are you bored? Again, we just talked about this. Or maybe you get satisfaction from not following the crowd. That is a intelligent investor mindset, believe it or not. Yeah, a nice healthy dose of contrarian.
Business valuations versus stock market valuations. The impact of market fluctuations upon the investor's true situation may be considered also from the standpoint of the shareholder as the part owner of various businesses. The holder of marketable shares actually has a double status, and with it the privilege of taking advantage of either at his choice. On the one hand, his position is analogous to that of a minority shareholder or silent partner in a private business. Here his results are entirely dependent on the profits of the enterprise or on a change in the underlying value of its assets. He would usually determine the value of such a private business interest by calculating his share of the net worth as shown in the most recent balance sheet. On the other hand, the common stock investor holds a piece of paper, an engraved stock certificate, which can be sold in a matter of minutes at a price which varies from moment to moment when the market is open, that is, and often is far removed from the balance sheet value. The development of the stock market in recent decades has made the typical investor more dependent on the course of price quotations and less free than formerly to consider himself merely a business owner. The reason is that the successful enterprises in which he is likely to concentrate his holdings sell almost constantly at prices well above their net asset value, or book value, or balance sheet value. In paying these market premiums, the investor gives precious hostages to fortune, for he must depend on the stock market itself to validate his commitment stock. This is a factor of prime importance in present-day investing, and it has received less attention than it deserves. The whole structure of stock market quotations contains a built-in contradiction. The better a company's record and prospects, the less relationship the price of its shares will have to their book value. But the greater the premium above book value, the less certain the basis of determining its intrinsic value i.e. The more this value will depend on the changing moods and measurements of the...
Do you understand the contradiction? So the better a company does, that's going to raise its value well above. Because then people are going to get excited, they're going to want to buy it, there's future prospects. But then, If they're doing better, you're much more removed from the actual intrinsic value, and it's hard to find that fair price. Does that make sense? It's natural. What you're doing is naturally contradicting. You must find it's hard to do that and find your soul. Oh my.
Stock market. Thus we reach the final paradox, that the more successful the company, the greater are likely to be the fluctuations in the price of its shares. This really means that, in a very real sense, the better the quality of a common stock, the more speculative it is likely to be, at least as compared with the unspectacular middle grade issues. What we have said applies to a comparison of the leading growth companies with the bulk of well-established concerns. We exclude from our purview here those issues which are highly speculative because the businesses themselves are speculative. The argument made above should explain the often erratic price behavior of our most successful and impressive enterprises. Our favorite example is the monarch of them all, International Business Machines.
IBM.
The price of its shares fell from 607 to 307 months in 1962-63. After two splits, its price fell from 387 to 219 in 1970. Similarly, Xerox, an even more impressive earnings gainer in recent decades, fell from 171 to 87 in 1962-63, and from 116 to 65 in 1970. These striking losses did not indicate any doubt about the future long-term growth of IBM or Xerox. They reflected instead a lack of confidence in the premium valuation that the stock market itself had placed on these excellent prospects. So
this is what's happening with software. You guys understand that? All of your software stocks right now. I really hope this helps you. That's why you need to find the ones that are going to be quality. All you're doing is changing the premium on these. You have to focus. That's why I keep telling you, focus on the long-term prospect of it, the actual higher quality. And again, it's a fair price now, given the recent decline. Be ready to buy more. If anything, you got to think about that in the future. But you need to find the ones that are not speculative in nature, but the ones that are going to keep being businesses. And now you get to make your entry on something that is going to be changing the future premium, but not necessarily altering the business. Do they feel me, Chad? Is anybody listening? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Previous discussion leads us to a conclusion of practical importance to the conservative investor in common stocks. If he is to pay some special attention to the selection of his portfolio, it might be best for him to concentrate on issues selling at a reasonably close approximation to their tangible asset value, say, at not more than 1/3 above that figure. Purchases made at such levels, or lower, may with logic be regarded as related to their company's balance sheet, and as having a justification or support independent of the fluctuating market prices. The premium over book value that may be involved can be considered as a kind of extra fee paid for the advantage of stock exchange listing and the marketability that goes with it. A caution is needed here. A stock does not become a sound investment merely because it can be bought at close to its asset value.
Listen to this.
The investor should demand, in addition, a satisfactory ratio of earnings to price, a sufficiently strong financial position, and the prospect that its earnings will at least be maintained over the years. This may appear like demanding a lot from a modestly priced stock, but the prescription is not hard to fill under all but dangerously high market conditions. Once the investor is willing to forego a brilliant prospect i.e., better than average expected growth, he will have no difficulty in finding a wide selection of issues meeting these criteria. In our chapters on the selection of common stocks, chapters 14 and 15, we shall give data showing that more than half of the Dow Jones Industrial Average issues met our asset value criterion at the end of 1970. The most widely held investment of all, American Telephone and Tel. Actually sells below its tangible asset value as we write. Most of the light and power shares, in addition to their other advantages, are now, early 1972. available at prices reasonably close to their asset values. The investor with a stock portfolio having such book values behind it can take a much more independent and detached view of stock market fluctuations than those who have paid high multipliers of both earnings and tangible assets. As long as the earning power of his holdings remains satisfactory, he can give as little attention as he pleases to the vagaries of the stock market. More than that, at times he can use these vagaries to play the master game of buying low and selling high. The A&P example. At this point we shall introduce one of our original examples, which dates back many years but which has a certain fascination for us because it combines so many aspects of corporate and investment experience. It involves the Great Atlantic and Pacific Tea Company. Here is the story. A&P shares were introduced to trading on the curb market, now the American Stock Exchange, in 1929 and sold as high as $494. By 1932 they had declined to $104, although the company's earnings were nearly as large in that generally catastrophic year as previously. In 1936 the range was between 111 and 131. Then in the business recession and bear market of 1938 the shares fell to a new low of 36. That price was extraordinary. It meant that the preferred and common were together selling for $126 million, although the company had just reported that it held $85 million in cash alone and a working capital, or net current assets, of $134 million.
I don't know why weed stocks
A&P was
are
the
up. Yeah, they
largest
just
retail
ripped last
enterprise
hour.
in America, if not in the world, with a continuous and impressive record of large earnings for many years. Yet in 1938 this outstanding business was considered on Wall Street to be worth less than its current assets alone, which means less as a going concern than if it were liquidated. Why? First, because there were threats of special taxes on chain stores. Second, because net profits had fallen off in the previous year. And, third, because the general market was depressed. The first of these reasons was an exaggerated and eventually groundless fear. The other two were typical of temporary influences. Let us assume that the investor had bought A&P common in 1937 at, say, 12 times its 5-year average earnings, or about 80. We are far from asserting that the ensuing decline to 36 was of no importance to him. He would have been well advised to scrutinize the picture with some care, to see whether he had made any miscalculations. But if the results of his study were reassuring as they should have been, he was entitled then to disregard the market decline as a temporary vagary of finance, unless he had the funds and the courage to take advantage of it by buying more on the bargain basis offered. Sequel and reflections. The following year, 1939, A&P shares advanced to 1,171?2, or 3 times the low price of 1938 and well above the average of 1937. Such a turnabout in the behavior of common stocks is by no means uncommon, but in the case of A&P, it was more striking than most. In the years after 1949 the grocery chain's shares rose with the general market until in 1961 the split-up stock, 10-for-1, reached a high of 701?2, which was equivalent to 705 for the 1938 shares. This price of 701?2 was remarkable for the fact it was 30 times the earnings of 1961. Such a price-earnings ratio, which compares with 23 times for the Dow Jones Industrial Average in that year, must have implied expectations of a brilliant growth in earnings. This optimism had no justification in the company's earnings record in the preceding years, and it proved completely wrong. Instead of advancing rapidly, the course of earnings in the ensuing period was generally downward. The year after the 701?2 high the price fell by more than half to 34. But this time the shares did not have the bargain quality that they showed at the low quotation in 1938. After varying sorts of fluctuations, the price fell to another low of 211 (2 in 1970 and 18 in 1972, having reported the first quarterly deficit in its history. We see in this history how wide can be the vicissitudes of a major.
All right, well, we got 15 minutes remaining. I might leave it there. You're getting a couple market moves, but the wheat stocks, there's nothing on it. Some people are bringing up the rumor of the DEA scheduling and all that, but yeah, 10%, and it's kind of just climbing, but there isn't really anything causing it. But yeah, look at the high ticker. You're not moving because tech is kind of doing its lag, and then you had Philo with the rumor with Anduril and a couple of others, but Russell is actually gassed up. That's going to be the only one green, and then Dow, NASDAQ, SPY, they're all going to be there. But that was 30 minutes of Intelligent Investor. That's only chapter 8, so again, it is a pretty large book, but I do think you all should read it. It's a little bit hard to read, and it seems like that, but I don't know. Maybe you guys have heard about this new thing called audiobooks. I think it's came out with AI. I don't know, but you could listen to it, and I think you could still receive the info. There is a lot of charts in the book, and you do have to realize things have changed. I mean, that's going to be your first difficulty with like really respecting how great this book is. One, it might be too hard. You'd be like, it's complex, it's this, it's that. It's very simple if you're actually hearing it, man. I don't know if you heard all my ad-libs, and you've heard me teach you a lot of this stuff. None of this is really brand new. But at the same time, it's like, you guys are not going to, like, even with software is having a big decline. We're talking about the premium. But, like, you realize every software stock has, like, fucking 50 times its tangible book value. And some of these other things. And PEs, it is very different in some of the modern era. But, like I'm saying, I think your real challenge and your real skill is going to be from really thinking like an intelligent investor and finding out how to make these applications kind of in the modern world while not straying into the speculation or, again, some of the contradictions. I don't know if you guys realize that. And, like, here's the deal. There you go. Now the SPY's moving. So, yeah, I was saying, the high ticker's almost fully gassed, bro. We're coming into close. You got a lot of things going up. But it is there. This chatter of a Citron short is McKesson. Nothing confirmed yet. XBI on the high. That was Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. I mean, it's one of the oldest books, man. Again, it even talks its shit on Wall Street and forecasting. But I'll tell you, there's something very, very important. Out of that 30 minutes, I'm sure you guys may have learned something, but there is something you really got to understand. There's one really big element of financial markets, stocks, investing, speculation. There's something about all of this that it gets attention, but we just say the word, but not really. But there's something about it. What do you notice? There's something determines a lot of how you are going to do. And it's probably the biggest challenge you're going to have to fight. Do you know what it is? What am I talking about? What was he talking about? Why do you get the contradictions? Why do you get so many things? It's not time, believe it or not. It's not patience, but patience is close. It's something else. Oh, yeah, you're there. It's emotions is part of it. Ego is part of it. It is human psychology. That's what it is. That's all it is. I mean, shout out to Philo, baby. I know, Philo got a lot with it, but I've always told you, I do think Philo helps in many ways in knowing how to think and dealing with the day-to-day and dealing through a couple of years. It's truly psychology, not like psychology. You don't need to go see a fucking therapist. This isn't I say trading psychology. Since I say it, it means something. No, it's like, again, how your body and your mind and everything is going to react, again, in ups and downs and selling, I think a lot of things, and some of the most intellectual content that you could ever get through books and everything. It's even that other book that I was just showing you, the C.S. Lewis one. It's like understanding how us as humans, we will do things that don't really align. Again, most of all of unhappiness is from contradiction. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, again, it seems like a good idea to sell into the high. Every 10% you're going to sell, but what's going to you're going to run out of stock. Again, or if you sell at one set point and then things happen. Again, and once everybody gets in it, it starts to have an effect. Are you going to kick yourself for missing out? Are you going to give in to the greed? Or are you going to, what's the other one? Are you going to start speculating? You know, there's all sorts. Or are you going to sell out just because you think it's too high now? Right? These are all psychological. It's how you handle yourself. That's why when I tell you guys, it's not hard to get rich. The hard part of getting rich is handling the emotions in between making a good decision and piling them on. And I don't know if you guys realize that. So what's the answer to psychology? How do you fix the psychology then? If the human do you need to see a therapist? Do you need to go for 18 hours of Philo? Do you need to give your life to Jesus? I think you should, but again, this is how I've approached the market. Praise the Lord, but you don't need to give your soul to Jesus if according to this book. How do you do it? Well, discipline is kind of the answer, but there's something better than human discipline. Human discipline is dog shit, as we've learned. Right? There's something better than being disciplined. It reflects discipline by operating. This is the whole basis of this strategy of thinking like an intelligent investor. What is it? How do you circumvent human emotions in investing in a long-term scale to not give in to any of this stuff? Long-term strategy would describe it, but I'm looking for another word. It has to do with rules, but I'm looking for a word. And I want you to think of this word every time now, because this is what you do. This is what all of you do with the long term if you actually operate it. And that's why I constantly remind some of you guys, I'm like, listen, man, you know the rules. But something about the rules, what does it create? What kind of system does it create? You want me to give you, I'll give you the first letter, M. M. Not conviction, but praise the Lord. Not consistency. Starts with the letter M. M for money. What is it? It's not motivation. It's a good M guess. Do 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 do. Not mastery. You don't, because you know why? You don't need you don't need to be a master yet, and we could get you going on all of this, as some of you have seen. It's not a mindset. It's not management. It's not measurable. Go, you guys are getting closer. Come on. It's not obedience. Not consistency. Motion. No. Not metrics. Oh, you guys, come on. I want to tell you, but I want you to get it, because it's going to click. He said it. He said it a couple of times. If you were listening. Again, this is the whole basis of the strategy. No, not momentum. You don't want to fall into the speculator's mindset. Think about it. Save 10% of your income no matter what. High quality stocks. It's a good price. Don't buy higher than where it's at. Hold for 10 years minimum. Ask me a question. I'm going to give you the same fucking answer. Why? It's very... Not method. No. Humans don't act like this. So if you're a human, you have emotions. Right? Humans are the emotions are 50, 70% of the shit that's going to fuck you up. There it is. A machine is mechanical. Mechanics. That's exactly what the answer is. That's the whole basis of this book. If you really understand what you are trying to understand the mechanical nature. That's what he's saying. Make it mechanical. This doesn't need, it needs to be a machine. You don't need to think. You could think a little bit, and that's going to help you by getting away from this. But when all said and done, how do I not fall into chasing? How do I not fall into the greed? How do I not fall into all of these other things? It's going to be by being mechanical. So boom, oh, I have an idea. Input it to the machine. What will the machine tell you? No, you can't do that. It's too high priced. No. Why do you want to buy it? Because you think it's going to go up in 6 months? They're being too speculative. The machine is going to reject it. You need to make it run like a machine. That's what we do. Think about it. We don't have to even look. You look once a month. That's a machine, dog. That's mechanical. That's everything your long-term is. You have input, output. That's it. Follow these steps. Follow these rules. Everything's going to keep chugging along. The gears are going to keep turning. You're going to have more money than where you started. Very simple. Oh, yeah. Final 5. So, yeah, man. What a day. 7 hours to nowhere. But, yes, mechanical, my friends. Mechanical. Isn't that not mental? You see, the mental is what's going to... A lot of people, and I don't know if you've noticed the questions when it comes to the long term, people try to override the mechanical with the mental. I don't know if you realize that, right? There's a new thing, something's coming up, this. That's why I strongly encourage you, don't forget the mindset, but don't forget the real rules of it. You need to know the rules of the machine, and that's why 10 years minimum is a big part of it. There's a mechanics behind it. You run it like a machine, it is gonna create exactly what it's supposed to. It'll generate. Ta-da! Isn't that awesome? I love it, you guys. I told you, one of my favorites. One of my favorites, man. So maybe we'll listen to some more of this later, but yeah, man, you only got 3 minutes remaining, Chad. Okay, how do we get from computers, RAM in your brain, then we start talking about science fiction and the propaganda, and then we end on intelligent investor. I love it though, bro. Oh, I'm gonna get too hyped. And then you get Trump at the bell. I don't know if he's gonna come out in time, but yeah, bro. I think chapter 8 is that's the one I was playing for you, but it is literally like one of the best chapters. But there's a lot, and like I said, it does get a little dense, but at the same time, bro, I think all of you, if you understood that, bro, most of you, I'm sure a couple of words here and there, or you're like, huh, what's he saying? You may not understand certain ratios, but like, dude, most of you get that. If you're going to really start putting your money on the line and you want to make this something, I mean, I think it's a good book to try to challenge yourself and read. But like I'm telling you, I learned a lot from this. This is, and I'm grateful. I learned this early. I learned this as one of my first introductions into the market, just after, getting hooked on the speculation. I was young. I'm like, ooh, I want to get rich. I see all this, and, picking up on this and thinking this way will take you a very long way. So Benjamin Graham, the guy who mentored Warren Buffett, and I don't want to hear yeah, but it's old and we don't have that in capitalism. You guys are living through a great technological revolution right now, and the future is going to be crazy, and you have way more opportunity than you think. So if you could learn how to align with this at booms and busts and everything else, you're going to do very well. And I think it's going to help you more so than it would threaten you with outdated information. I believe it's still very well up to date, and the better you could apply it while sticking to the mechanics, and if you don't get away from the mechanics and could apply this mechanical nature to the modern world, oh, you're going to do a lot better, my friends. You're going to do a lot better. So, Chad, you might want to prepare some of your end-of-the-day moves. Maybe, what's it called? An adjusted GG. Get ready for Friday tomorrow. We'll see what the oil and the war and the drama brings. We do have a lot of data tomorrow, man. We do have a lot of data tomorrow. So, yeah, man. But you only have 1 minute! Go, 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 go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time to wrap it up. Bring it home. Finalize those plays. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Stick to the mechanics. Wrap it up. Get ready for a day tomorrow. We'll close out this week and get towards the end of February with the video and all of that. Got some data tomorrow. We'll see what the after hours brings. I'll see you on the watch list tonight, baby. God bless America. Less than 15 seconds. So wrap it up, baby. Wrap it up, intelligent investors. Oh, yeah. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ding 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 ding. Horna Chadadonia. What a day. I think I'm more exciting than the market, man. This is 7 hours to literally like barely up. But you know what? You made it, my friends. The Lord is with you. I need a good game in the chat. Drop that GG, baby. Let's go. It don't matter if you made money or lost money. I know you learned something. You definitely learned something. You intelligent investor, you. Let me get a good game. Members, non-members, stream alerts. They're locked in. Anybody who's operating like a machine. You know what I'm... Really? Fuck Wall Street. Benjamin told you that. Let me get a GG, baby. God bless you and thank the chat. Thank God. And are you excited? I'm excited about the future. I'm excited about some of y'all cracking open some books. Learning the age-old wisdom, baby. You know that? All you got to do is handle the time, baby. Good game and God bless. Thank you for contributing. If y'all had a good time and you made it a good time, asked a good question, if you promoted the intelligent mindset, man, oh, God bless you. Use your brain, bro. The Rams. God bless Chadadonia, baby. I need me to rock. You won't see me a lot. Monday through Friday, you need me, let's talk. Oh, the Christmas song? Can we listen to this if it's not Christmas?
Best time of year, Chad. God bless you.
Is this against the wall? Merry Christmas, Chrysler, Christmas.
From my family.
No, I miss Christmas though now.
I hope you get the things
no.
that's not even on your wish list. I hope you
it's gonna be Christmas way sooner than you think, bro.
You a real
you know that?
The
you know that about the
great.
oh my
I pray
God.
You never see traffic
9 months
and
till
you
Christmas?
Never run in late.
10 months?
You ask your crush out,
okay, not
she'll
that
say
soon.
yes to the day. And nobody getting mad if you leave food upon your plate. Merry Christmas. It got meaning if you give it some. I'm always praying for you and I'm praying for your little ones. Every time you look them in the face, no, you never done.
I just want to hear the other part for the non-intelligent
investor. That be motivating. I hope every drink you get comes pre-shaken. I hope your Uber don't cancel and is really patient. If you lose your wallet, nobody will take it. They'll return it. Yup. See? I'm just happy if you happy, G. Every sweet you'll eat this year be made from 0 calories. These are all the blessings that I wish for both you and me. So, welcome to the family. But I got a gift for the haters too. I hope everywhere you go runs out of room. I hope every song you sing is sung out of tune. Everyone is happy and you're the one that's in the mood. I hope the dinner great, you get there, they run out of food. I hope you step on Legos every time you enter rooms. I hope you meet a pretty girl, but it's just a dude. And he doesn't even tell you by date 2. Hope you can't find your keys cause someone probably stole your car. I hope your Christmas tree falls and then cause a fireball. Hope you find easy parking and then they tow your car. For no reason at all. I hope everywhere you go has construction. Everything you have to build will come with no instructions. I hope it doesn't function. I hope you miss the pothole, avoid it safely, then drive into the Hudson. I hope your family likes you less
That's a long
than all
term,
your cousins.
you gotta do
I hope
it.
you're stressed because you're bad at trading options. Actually, I hope it hits, and then you get a gift. Then you feel like you can't miss. Then triple up your shit.
Benjamin talked
get
about
in the
this.
money
Don't get mad at
quick.
me.
Then Robinhood goes down and your orders don't submit. Then the problem still persists. By the time it gets refreshed, I hope all of it'll dip.
Bye. Wow, thank you. Thank you. No, bro, you guys don't see it though? The spec, even then. That's why you don't see the contradicting nature though, because people even say like trading psychology for the speculation. But that's very contradicting. You see what because again, what was he talking about? What's going to happen? Market rips, you're either going to sell out too early after you owned it and be like, it's too high, I should sell. You're going to kick yourself for missing out if you don't do anything, or if it goes lower, or you're going to give into the greed. So again, I have, even from the beginning of my career, when I did all of this stuff I've been doing, there's a reason why I was trading options a long time ago. Still to this day, you can have speculation, but you have to have the ability to put that in a whole nother section of your mind. Do you guys understand? You have to split it. It must be separate and split up from all of your investing activity. Ask Benjamin. Rest in peace, Benjamin, man. So yeah, Chattadonia. Open Door, their earnings came out. They're ripping. I mean, dude, all of these real estate stocks, despite all the data and everything else, they've been actually killing it. So yeah, and then New Zealand jobs rise. Who else? Did Sprouts have earnings too? Again, I think Trump is going to come on here in a little. But yeah, man, the market's closed. Sprouts doesn't go too crazy. Who else? There was Harman, Harmonics, Jack's Pacific, Newmont Gold. I just saw Open Door. I don't know what their estimate was. Inseego. Fivin? Oh, Fivin usually moves. Century Aluminum, they were running earlier. Weave, OLED, ST, Guardian Health, and I think that's it for now. Oh, another set. Open Door gross profit, 57 million. Did they finally turn a profit? That could be if they're jumping like that. Open Door does what it said it would do. Delivering acquisition growth, faster inventory turns, and strong. The first article that comes out is a pump article. So that's usually a good sign. Oh, yeah, I think their profit was expected to be lower. I don't know if the EBITDA went green, they turned a loss into a positive, which should be able to gas it up. But I'll wait till I get the full estimates. I'm not too, again, saving my energy, bro. Saving my energy. I like Sprouts, but we already made that one free. And then we'll see after. Again, today was 3 days in a row of Staples lagging, bro. I know. Oh, I know. Remember, Sprouts has been at the bottom, so if it doesn't get like a recovery story, people might want to punish that. But yeah, revenue 2.15 versus estimate of 2.15. So EPS beat slightly. Revenue is in line. That guidance is going to be the kicker. Live Nation came out. Was that number legit? Operating income 125? 631. I think that number was legit. Yeah, that Live Nation leak. I think it was, bro. I think it was. Wow. Tandem. Did Sweet Greens have earnings? The slot bowls, dude? Oh, I don't know. Sweet Greens is a big mover on earnings. All they have to do is say they made $1. That shit will go up to 40. But I don't know if I don't see earnings yet. I don't know if they're today. Again, haven't been too invested. Well, Chad, on that note, I'm going to depart. I got a ball out today. We'll see you on the watch list if you're on the locked in. Otherwise, I'll see you for a nice Friday. We'll see what happens on Friday. I like Fridays. I don't know, especially after this week. This week went by quick, man. You had that holiday. But my friends, the Lord is with you, and your brain is very powerful. And I hope you have many motivations today to think, to resist, to read a book, whether an entertaining one that'll teach you, or a stock book if you want, Intelligent Investor. But I do encourage you to do it sooner rather than later. And I do encourage you to get excited. Like I'm telling you, man, I've said this many days in a row now. I'm very excited about the future. I think you should be too. And when there's technological shifts and disruptions, you get some opportunities, man, to do some big things. So I hope you take advantage of it. And what better time is now? And then prepare. Why not you, brother? Oh, my. So, Chad, God bless you all. Have a wonderful day. Read the books. Richest Man of Babylon. Proverbs New Living Translation. Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. And go be one. Go be one with your alignment, man. And do everything you need to. And finish your day as good as possible. And don't forget why we're here. Why we keep going. Why that faith, hope, and love ain't ever going out of style. And why, my friend, you are just one giant circuit board. It's in a place. You are one giant Galilee, brother. Oh, the answer is there. Why, baby? Why? Finger to the sky, baby. To God be the glory, and through the grace of God alone. Amen. Amen. Chattadonia. Have a wonderful day. God bless all of you. And I will see you very, very shortly. And, you know, all of today being said, your content today was provided by our sponsor, They're really tight with Benjamin Graham, brother. Yeah, I think they sponsored him back in the 40s. Believe it or not, it's a crazy lore, but yeah, it's all brought to you by Long Term Monthly. Have a wonderful evening. Goodbye. Put your moderate to severe volatility in check with long-term once-monthly savings and high-quality ownership. Before I started using long-term monthly, I was an absolute degenerate who couldn't sleep because they said don't hold overnight. Oh, I could sleep. My husband said he was investing for our future, but he was just gambling at 8 in the morning. But now, thanks to long-term monthly, we're about to buy our second home. Before taking long-term monthly, I used to get really bothered by the politics on the television and YouTube. Now, I don't care who's president. I know I'm still going to make a profit and have a financial future. Long-term can lower your ability to blow up your account. Before treatment, watch Trading Fraternity and Stock Market Live videos. Serious faith, hope, and love might occur. For patients above 20, discipline and goals are a common side effect. Nausea, upset stomach, and diarrhea may occur if you are trading in your long-term account. Consult your broker and ask them why they are charging you above the Fed's funds rate to hold your money. Long-term monthly is not a one-time treatment and will have to be kept up for several years. Long-term monthly. Pay yourself first.